session. feature of the night for the 8-car automotive lead stock will get set to head down to for their heat race and will fly with the starting off the silver launch in the transport system to the third quarter retail soccer for 43 inches to the gunslinger. Ryan Hunsinger. Hits outside of the goal line.
His debut season in a sprint car has been here periodically on Friday nights and with the Action Sprint Tour, and for the first time in his career is out in front leading a race halfway home now, but Dykstra all over the back of the Merle number 19 now.
Dykstra there on the inside, riding high on confidence after his most recent win at Merrittville last weekend, chasing after the 19 of Merle. You got Aaron Turkey, who's in these battles as well, in the 68, running in third, but the redraw are the top two.
Aaron Turkey in that third position on the outside, looking in of a redraw position, and now sideways off of corner number 2 into the infield goes the 55 of Mike Thorne. He keeps his foot in it for now. That car looks like it may have stayed fired, but now it coasts to a stop on the inside of corner number 2. Will stay green for the moment as the white flag is in the hand of starter Kyle McKenzie. Brandon Merle looking for his first career checkered flag in a sprint car.
White flag out, one more time to go here for the 19 machine of Brandon Merle. Here comes Jacob Dykstra working to the inside. We've got top 2 headed for the redraw, and they look to be the cars. Clay, here they come.
What order are they going to draw in? It will be Brandon Merle picking first in the number 19 machine. Jacob Dykstra finishes in second. Third goes to the 68 of Aaron Turkey. Young Liam Martin in fourth, and Brad Heron rounding out the top 5. Brian Nanico takes the final transfer spot in the number 9 C machine, and everybody else goes to the B main. Rob Neely, Jeff Newham, Mike Thorne, and Ryan Hunsinger, and DJ Christie as well scored in this one. Oh, that's a different transponder. So the top 6 drivers making their way directly into tonight's 20-lap A feature for the Action Sprint Tour powered by RaceRivals.com.
Well, we want to thank everybody for your patience, for everybody viewing here and at home. We've got the technical issues sorted out. We blew a fiber optic converter. Clayton, you know what that is?
No, that's not in my repertoire.
Yeah, mine either. We don't need to know. Spencer knew and he fixed it. That's all that mattered. We're back up in business. And just explain our audio, our main audio goes into camera number 1. So when we lost that camera, we kind of lost audio. So we're back and live. Thanks everybody for being with us.
Set to go with heat race number 2 for the Action Sprint Tour, powered by RaceRivals.com. And starting on the pole in car number 1 at Adelaide, Ontario, the Aero Express O'Neill's Farm Equipment sponsored ride of Holly Porter. To her outside in car number 8 MK out of Oshwegan, that is Matt Hill. And lining up in the 3rd spot in car number 70 out of Niagara Falls, Ontario, the Pro Battery Shop's Landmark Home Solutions number 70 is Bailey Hurd. Lining up 4th, the current Action Sprint Tour point leader out of St. Thomas, Ontario, the Best Safety Training and Consulting Magnum Signs number 52 is Jesse Costa. And lining up in the 5th spot in car number 5 out of Beachville, Ontario, the Wild Sprinting DeGroot Hill Chevrolet number 5 of DJ Christie. 6th starter in car number 49, H out of Hagersville, Ontario, the Iroquois Hereford Farms ITE Rentals sponsored car of Jerry Hill. And lining up in the 7th spot in car number 69, that is Josh Hill. 8th starter in car number 7 out of London, Ontario, the Pinewood Horticulture Services BS&B Radiator sponsored ride of Caleb Wood. And lining up in the 9th position out of Welland, Ontario, the J&J Auto Racing number 3B of Blaine Barrow. 10th and final starter in heat race number 2 comes out of Oshwegan, the Oshwegan Speedway Epic Raceware number 38 is Derek Miller. 10 more cars for 8 more laps. Top 2 drivers to the redraw. Top 6 will qualify directly to tonight's 20-lap A feature. Green flag set away from the hand of starter Kyle McKenzie off of corner number 4. We are underway for heat race number 2.
Onto the back chute they go. Holly Porter with a massive lead out here to get this one underway. And Jesse Costa taking a run in here, but here comes sophomore driver Matt Hill with confidence around the outside.
Costa thought he had the 2nd spot going into corner number 3. Hill said, no, sir, I'm taking that back, and drove the number 8 machine around the top side, holding onto that 2nd position. Costa looking to get into a redraw position will help him maintain that overall point lead if he can start at the front of tonight's feature, but 2 laps down, and he runs in the 3rd position.
Behind him, DJ Christie, another one of the young up-and-comers in the number 5. Looking to punch his car to the A feature tonight for Holly Porter. She won her micro sprint feature last night as well, so she's riding high on the confidence wagon as well.
Couple of youngsters going at it here for the 4th position. Bailey Hurd and DJ Christie. Hurd with a slide job there at the other end of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Christie trying to turn back underneath them here off of turn number 4, but Hurd holds the spot at the halfway point.
Bailey Hurd running pretty good in a few starts that he's made here so far. Out of turn 4, Holly Porter still with the advantage. Matt Hill headed for the redraw, and that would be like a feature win for that guy.
Has had a bit of a tough year in that 8 MK machine. Looking for some good luck here with less than 3 laps to go. Holly Porter still out in front of the field. Brings it off of corner number 4. 2 laps to go for the number 1 machine, and still trying to run away from the 52 of Jesse Casa. Would give her a chance to maybe climb back into this points battle in the number 1 machine.
Costa has been hanging around every race, looking for his first win out on the tour. White flag is out for Holly Porter in the number 1.
Caleb Wood into the 5th position, and DJ Christie in that final transfer position at the moment in the number 5 star machine as Porter brings it off of corner number 4. She will take the checkered flag in heat race number 2. 2nd spot will go to the number 8 MK of Matt Hill. He goes to the redraw. 3rd goes to the 52 of Jesse Costa. 4th to the 70 of Bailey Hurd. Caleb Wood comes home 5th, and taking the final transfer spot in the 6th position, the 5 star of DJ Christie. Everybody else will go to the B main tonight. Jerry Hill, Josh Hill, Derek Miller, and Blaine Barrow all going to have to qualify in through tonight's last chance race. Two great races here so far for the Action Sprint Tour powered by RaceRivals.com. Again, the inaugural season for the tour. This is race number 6 in Clint, we've had a great season so far here with the Action Sprint Tour, covering a couple of different racetracks. We've been to every track we're going to go to in 2018 with the exception of the Brighton Speedway. That's coming up in a couple of weeks' time on August 18th.
It's been amazing. We started this crate division. We got about 35 to 40 teams built up in about 5 years. And we realized we need to give them some extra outside action. They started racing at Humberstone, and you know, if we could put our arms around it, keep the rules, and put together a great series, I think we've done that, Clayton. You've been out with it, and you know, carrying almost 20 cars plus to all events so far has been a great feather in our cap for the first year of the Action Sprint Tour presented by RaceRivals.com.
And 30 cars strong here tonight as we get set for heat race number 3 that will line up in this order. Starting on the pole out of Brantford, Ontario, the Woodstock Ford McDonald's Paris of Brantford. Number 9 of Paul Ballantyne. To his outside in car number 56 out of Hamilton, the Ace 1 Construction Aitken Motor sponsored car of Derek Lemaire. Lining up third in car number 22, Junior out of St. Catharines, that is Al Gilletta Jr. And rolling off in the 4th starting spot out of Vanessa Ontario, the Lucas Oil Oakwood Transport number 4 of Hannah Farrell. Starting 5th in car number 08 out of Font Hill is Stephen Beckett, and to his outside in the 6th starting spot, the 87X of Sean Evans. 7th starter in car number 1, EH, that is Paul Klager, and in the 51, it is Trevor Young. He rolls off 8th. The 49L of Lucas Smith will start from the 9th position, and the 88H out of Beamsville, that is Josh Hansen. He goes from the 10th spot. Final 10 cars grab one of 6 qualifying positions into tonight's A feature. Top 2 will go to the redraw again. Green flag waving on the 3rd and final heat race for the Action Sprint Tour, powered by RaceRivals.com.
Ballantyne got a little bit loose up over the cushion in turn 2. He'll fade back. Here comes Hannah Farrell with a big run to the inside of the number 4, and she will get around. Both of them take the lead. Here comes Lemaire back by her.
Good battle at the front of the field. Lemaire and Farrell switching lanes a couple of times. Now they go side by side off of corner number 2. Down the back straightaway. Farrell with the advantage into turn number 3 as she takes the bottom and slides up in front of Lemaire. Lemaire turns it back underneath at the stripe.
Sean Evans working underneath the Ballantyne number 9. He will grab position number 3. Got a long way to go to get in the redraw. Ahead of him, though, it's Hannah Farrell and Derek Lemaire.
Evans from the 6th starting spot up to 3rd as Hannah Farrell begins to distance herself from the 56 of Derek Lemaire. Good battle early between those two drivers, but Farrell prevailing here on lap number 4.
And Hannah Farrell is about as old as Derek Lemaire has been driving dirt cars. Grade 12 student here, looking good in the Oakwood Transport Lucas Oil machine for the Barr brothers. And she has been a great replacement. Tough seat to fill with McDeman moving on, but she's done a darn good job so far, Clayton.
Very good job by Hannah Farrell aboard that Lucas Oil Oakwood Transport sponsored number 4 machine as she continues to show her skill in this qualifying heat race, and a battle for that final redraw position shaping up here as Sean Evans has caught Derek Lemaire in the number 56 machine right on the rear tail tank with 2 laps to go.
Sean Evans trying to make that inside move. He gets a good line down to the bottom, and he just roars past Lemaire on the back straightaway. Derek Lemaire with the outside momentum, going to try and come back at him, but Evans digs in, and here comes Lemaire. What a battle to the white.
Less than 1 lap to go now as Hannah Farrell reaches the midpoint of the back straightaway. Lemaire all over the back bumper of Evans for that final redraw spot. Off of corner number 4, checkered flag is going to wave for Hannah Farrell. 2nd spot will go to Sean Evans. He'll go to the redraw. Derek Lemaire, Stephen Beckett, Paul Klager, and at the line, Lucas Smith taking the final transfer position to the feature from Josh Hansen. Hansen, Paul Ballantyne, Trevor Young, and Al Gilletta Jr. all going to have to go through the B main to make it into tonight's main event. Great racing from the drivers in the Action Sprint Tour there and qualifying heat races. Only a preview of what is to come in the feature, Clint.
We've got an action-packed weekend starting off with a full field tonight. 23 late models showed up, Clayton. That's awesome here tonight in their lone appearance at the Big O. Of course, tomorrow we've got Flat Track Canada motorcycles with Action Expo for the kids in the back. And go-karts, Micro Sprint's going to be a full jam-packed 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. We'll be here from noon till 10 both nights.
Getting set for the first of 3 qualifying heat races for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks on the speedway here. 30 cars signed in for action tonight. 3 qualifying heat races, 32 cars signed in for competition tonight. Top 7 from each heat race will qualify into tonight's main event. On the pole for heat race number 1 in car number 4, that is Aaron Rowitsky. To his outside in car number 88 tonight, that is Ryan Dinning. Lining up in the 3rd spot in the car number 11 is Go Fast Teeple. To his outside, the 46 of Kevin Pauls. 5th starter in car number 38 is Frank Turkey Jr. And lining up in the 6th position, car number 37H is Rob Hoskins. The 7th starter in car number 40 is Jay Liverance. To his outside, the 24 of Blake Bomberry Jr. The 108 of Billy Bleach Jr. starts 9th. The 25 of Ken Sargent goes off 10th. And Jim Lampman starts from the 11th spot in car number 28. 8 laps distance. Again, top 7 qualifying to tonight's feature.
Did you say Ryan Dinning? Out there
Ryan Dinning is aboard the number 88 machine tonight, the former Dale Jacari car.
All right, we'll see how that goes here for Dinning. Heavy damage here last Friday. We saw that one as they bring this one down the back straightaway. He's back in a metric car, a big difference behind the wheel from driving his standard Camaro.
Well, doubled his number, hoping to turn his luck around. Normally the driver of the number 8 machine piloting the number 88, going well so far as he leads lap number 1, but here comes the 37 of Rob Hoskins to the inside. He comes back around the top side. Dinning will lead down the back straightaway. 3 cars under a blanket for the race lead.
Well, Bill Bleach Jr. has been the one on the move here in the 108. Wheels up underneath. Hoskins and Dinning trying to butter up the fenders to get down in the middle. Can't do it. Dinning will push up high and come back down. Here comes Bleach with a line, going to try and take the lead. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway.
And Bleach comes right through the middle now, trying to take the race lead away from Hoskins, who had it by a nose into corner number 3. Hoskins drifting high, trying to take the lane away, but on the top side, it's Bleach who has the momentum. He will lead at the start-finish line here on lap number 3.
Bill Bleach coming from deep in the middle portion of the field, working this one to the front. Hoskins, if you were here last week, remember, was right about this point in his qualifying. He flipped right about there on the speedway and damaged that car heavily.
Hoskins giving chase right now to the Billy Bleach Jr. number 108 out in front of the field. Side by side for the 3rd position, Blake Bomberry Jr. and Ryan Dinning. Bomberry has it by half a car length into corner number 3. As Dinning holds down the 4th position, then back to the number 25 of Ken Sargent in the 5th spot. The 11 of Go Fast People, the 28 of Jim Lampman, the final transfer car here with 3 laps to go.
I promise you, Ryan Dinning has not worked that hard in a long time out there. That car is pushing. The brakes are sticking. It's all over the place as he tries to muscle it back here to a qualified position. He's got it so far. Right now, top 7 will qualify.
Rob Hoskins trying to reel in the Billy Bleach 108 machine. He had some problems keeping that car turning through the middle of the corner in the opening laps of the heat race. Now he's taking it to the top side and seems to have a much better drive, and now he tries to get a run down the hill in corner number 4 as the white flag waves for Bill Bleach Jr., but Hoskins is right there.
Hoskins is on the inside, taking a line down there. Bleach getting a little bit loose, but Hoskins doesn't seem to have enough speed to wheel up on the back end of the 108 of Bill Bleach Jr.
Final time through corners 3 and 4. Bleach has the momentum to take him to the checkered flag. He will win heat race number 1 over the 37 of Rob Hoskins. 3rd spot will go to Blake Bomberry Jr. Ryan Dinning comes home 4th in that number 88 machine. He'll transfer to the main event. Ken Sargent, Go Fast People, and Jim Lampman rounding out the transfer cars there in heat race number 1. Aaron Rowitsky, Frank Turkey Jr., Kevin Pauls, and Jay Liverance all going to the B main. Heat race number 2 for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks rolls onto the speedway, starting on the pole in car number 53 to Jerseyville, the Advantage Electric sponsored number 53 of Logan Schwedick. To his outside in car number 1, out of Brantford, Ontario, the Strickland's Classic Party Rental sponsored car of Chris Dickey. Going off 3rd in car number 84 RK, that is Ryan Beagle, and his outside the Burger Barn number 21X of Mark Bazine. Starting from the 5th spot in car number 79 out of Guelph, Ontario, the McCollman Media Stony Creek Transmission number 79 is Christopher Hale. To his outside in car number 2, the 6th starting spot at a Mount Hope, the Welder Custom Fabrication sponsored car of Lee Winger. Lining up 7th in car number 52 is Tony Fraser. To his outside, the 74 of Steve Vanderzand goes from the 8th position. The 3C of Devin Bacher rolls from the 9th spot. The 63 of Brandon Crumby is your 10th starter, and shotgun alone in row number 6 is the number 7 of Jason Longaro. Again, 11 cars, top 7 drivers qualifying into tonight's 20-lap feature for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Green flag waves from the hand of starter Kyle McKenzie, and we are underway with a good jump from Chris Dickey.
Dickey leads them into turns 1 and 2 onto the back chute. Looked like the mud plug coming out of the Bazine 21X won't be an issue though. And Chris Dickey trying to hold off Logan Schwedick and Chris Hale, but here comes Ryan Beagle into the party as well.
Dickey through the middle, Schwedick up top, Beagle on the bottom. Good run for Schwedick. Now he drives to the outside of Dickey down the front straightaway and into corners 1 and 2. Up on the top shelf is Logan Schwedick, and wow, Ryan Beagle all out of sorts there. That'll cost him a couple positions as Mark Bazine comes through the middle.
Boy, it sure will, but Beagle right up, climbs the ladder, goes up top, and Bazine thought about it too. Beagle had to get out of it as Bazine come up in front of him. Logan Schwedick grabbing the lead, but here comes Hale trying to work over the other metric car on the bottom.
3 wide for the race lead. Logan Schwedick up on the top shelf, paces the field off of corner number 2. Dickey and Hale side by side on the bottom side of the racetrack now for the 2nd position. Give the advantage to Hale off of corner number 4. He's coming after Schwedick for the lead.
Christopher Hale to the inside of Chris Dickey. Working good, and I got a good story about Dickey I'll tell you after. I raced him on the way to the speedway today, but we weren't speeding, if that makes any sense. Schwedick running up on the outside lane, and Christopher Hale, we've talked this guy up quite a bit. I think we got a street stock star in the making with this guy.
The 79 machine has been improving every night out, and now finishing consistently feature races in the top 5 and at the very least inside the top 10, now coming after Schwedick for this heat race win here tonight. Working on lap number 5 here. Will be 3 laps to go this time by the line, and Hale is right there on the inside of the Schwedick 53.
Schwedick there running that outside groove, and Hale just pitching it sideways like a jackknife, trying to get it to twist around the speedway turns, and it works that time as Hale will lead Schwedick into turn 3.
That could have been Hale's best corner of the night and Schwedick's worst, as Hale will drift it up to the top side of the speedway. He sees twin flags up from Kyle McKenzie. That means 2 laps to go now for the number 79 machine, looking to pick up a heat race win. And Ryan Beagle recovering from getting all sorts out of shape in corners 1 and 2 a few laps earlier, now back up to the 3rd position.
Yeah, good recovery for Ryan Beagle. White flag is out, but it's not really going to matter. As long as you're in the top 7, you'll get your qualifying spots back. And now look at Hale puffing smoke as he leads them down the back chute.
Final time into corners 3 and 4. Top 3 drivers broken away from the rest of the field, but some more smoke out of the back of the 79 as the checkered flag wave. It won't matter for now. Christopher Hale picks up the heat race win. Logan Schwedick will come home in the 2nd spot. 3rd will go to the number 84 of Ryan Beagle. 4th to the 1 of Chris Dickey, the 21X of Mark Bazine in 5th, Lee Winger in 6th, and Brandon Crumby taking the final transfer spot in 7th. Steve Vanderzand, Jason Longaro, Devin Bacher, and Tony Fraser all going to the B main. 3rd and final qualifying heat race set to roll trackside here for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Here's how they will go off. On the pole at Hagersville, Ontario, the Timpson Auto Value Mac Tools number 23 of Trevor DeBoer. Trevor DeBoer in the 23. To his outside in car number 13, Externed out of Oshweek, the Nighthawk Security sponsored ride of Craig White. Going from the 3rd spot in car number 93 is Melissa Miller. To her outside in the 77 at a Mount Hope, the Green Line Enterprise sponsored car of Brett Wadwell. Starting from the 5th spot in car number 11R is Bryce Richardson, and going from the 6th position, the current point leader at Hagersville, the Queenston Chevrolet number 49 of Dave Bailey. Starting 7th in car number 76 is Jeff Drummond, to his outside the 6R of Jeff Rulofs, and starting from the 9th spot in car number 28D is Donnie Lampman. The 4H of Pat Lajeunesse goes from the 10th spot, and in the 11th starting spot, the 13 of Bobby Mercer subbing for Casey Huffman here tonight as the green flag waves here on the 3rd and final heat race for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks.
Last week's feature winner, Trevor DeBoer, will lead them onto the back straightaway. And then we got a former Oshwegan regular, now Ransville regular, Bryce Richardson. The big R rained out. He turned around at the border and came down, Clayton.
Richardson up to the 2nd position here in the 11R, running well here after a pretty solid run here last Friday night. He's got some company in the form of current point leader and defending track champion Dave Bailey. He looks to the inside for the second spot. Both of last week's feature winners now about to run 1-2.
Richardson working on the Bailey 49. He'll maintain the second position. Rodwell holding down fourth. White back there in fifth, but it's all Trevor DeBoer right now.
That 6 machine of Jeff Rulof's running in the 6th position. That's a transfer spot. And in the 13 machine, Bobby Mercer has the Casey Huffman car in a transfer position for the moment right now in the 7th spot.
Problems for the 4H with a flat right rear. They will limp that one back to the pit area, and DeBoer brings him onto the stretch again with Bailey now giving chase, but he's a long way back with Bryce Richardson and Rodwell holding on to the top 4 positions.
Nearly 10 car lengths separating the leader, Trevor DeBoer, and the 49 of Dave Bailey as they reach the cross flags halfway point here with 4 laps remaining in heat race number 3 for the Thunderstock. DeBoer again maintaining that lead down the back straightaway, but Bailey trying to make a move here as he goes right to the top side of the speedway in corners 3 and 4.
23 of DeBoer grabbing his first feature win. It's so cool to see the kids playing with the trophy on Saturday. Sharon, that was awesome. As they bring this one down the back chute, still DeBoer and another guy who knows he can make it into Lucas Oil victory lane now. Do we see a more aggressive 23?
We certainly got a good start from the number 23 machine. Now he has 2 more laps to hold off the defending champ in this qualifying heat race here. They're both transferred into the feature at the moment anyways, but a little bit of pride on the line here as they both try to grab a checkered flag and a heat race win. They'll get the white flag this time off of corner number 4. Both drivers running the same line right up against the fence.
Oh, good buddies and neighbors. Their kids play together. I wonder who the kids are cheering for tonight. Probably half for DeBoer, half for Bailey. Here they come down the back chute for the last time. Doesn't mean a lot because they're both into a qualified spot, but it's bragging rights back home in Hagersville for the weekend.
DeBoer on through the middle of the racetrack will hold onto the spot, and he will win heat race number 3. Bailey will settle for second spot in the number 49 machine. Third spot goes to the number 11R of Bryce Richardson. Brett Rodwell takes the 4th spot. The 13X of Craig White comes home in the 5th spot. Pardon me, the 28D of Donnie Lampman taking the 5th spot. I believe the 6R of Jeff Rulofs will be scored in the 6th position there. And as it stands, the 7th spot will go to the 13X of Craig White.
Clayton, just want to mention 50-50 is a guaranteed minimum of $750. Sellers, put your hands up so they know where you are. Once again, 50-50, a guaranteed jackpot minimum of $750 tonight. Make sure you get your 50-50 tickets.
And that jackpot will continue to climb. The more you buy, the more we pay here for the 50-50 here at Ohsweken Speedway as we get set for the first of 3 qualifying heat races for the late models here tonight. Again, their only appearance at Ohsweken Speedway in 2018. Here's how they'll roll off. On the pole at Chatham, Ontario, the Gearhead Shop, Praxair Robinson Motorcycles, number 1A of Brad Othier. To his outside at a Rodney, Ontario, the Mansell Excavating, Magnum Signs, O'Leary Brothers Roofing, number 53 of Brad Simpson. Lining up in the 3rd spot in car 00D out of Shrewsbury, Ontario, the Redneck Garage, RPM Decals, 00D of Jim Dale Jr. From the 4th spot in car number 20 out of Thamesville, Ontario, the Master Feed sponsored car of Dwayne Mallett. Going from the 5th spot in car number 28K out of Port Lambton, Ontario, the Mansell Excavating ZR Motorsports Lake Racing Engine number 28K of Tate O'Leary. The 6th starter in car number 69, no stranger to the Ohsweken Speedway, on a gas line Ontario, the Bob Pitts Heating and Air Conditioning number 69 of Rob Pitts. Starting from the 7th spot in car number RH21 out of Chatham, Ontario, the Performance Fiberglass Ride of Greg Haskell. And from the 8th spot in the car number 19D out of Sarnia, Ontario, the Bridgeview Restorations sponsored ride of Don Douglas. 8 cars, 8 laps the distance. First of 3 heat races this evening for the late models here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Well, Brett Othier gets the jump. Jim Dale Jr.'s got a lot of experience here in that Redneck Garage 00, and he will put it to use, driving down underneath the one. But here comes Pitsy. I don't think anybody's got more laps out here in multiple cars than that guy.
Good side-by-side racing at the front of the field. Othier out of shape, Pitts out of shape, and that's going to allow Jim Dale Jr. to drive to the lead here on lap number 1.
Pitts still trying to get a line down on the bottom, gets underneath Brad Othier that time. and Pitts is hoping it slicks up. We'll talk about the mix between super lates and crates under the hood here as they come back to it. Jim Dale Jr. is a full-blown super late model from South Buxton. Rob Pitts running in second, a 604 crate late model out of Humberstone.
Good mix of drivers from both the South Buxton Raceway and the Humberstone Speedway here at the Speedway tonight. And as you mentioned, Clint, a good mix of super late models and crate motors here, and doesn't appear to make a whole heck of a lot of a difference so far in this heat race as Jim Dale Jr. and Pitts go at it for the race lead, and big smoke out of the Tate O'Leary, number 28K, down the back straightaway. He'll pull it to the infield.
Yeah, they're watching that one as he gets down through the bottom here on the infield of turn number 3. O'Leary with an issue, and the fire crew will attend. But up front, a hot battle going on here between Jim Dale Jr. and Rob Pitts. Pitts trying to get to the bottom. Dale knows he's there now.
Pitts with a good move to drive under Dale off of corner number 2, and again through turns 3 and 4. Has that short way around through corners 1 and 2. He has those wheels turned hard right off of corner number 2 and leads by a nose down the back straight and into turn number 3. It'll be 2 laps to go as they work off of corner number 4, and Pitts with a good run there through turns 3 and 4. Again, he will lead here on lap number 6.
Another guy with a lot of experience back to the Ontario Dirt Late models and the Great Lakes Late models. Greg Haskell working here to the inside, the RH21 to take Jim Dale's spot away and chase after Rob Pitts.
Great run going for Haskell's number 21 machine as now he's driven his way into the second spot with 1 lap to go. Looks like problems on the Jim Dale number 00. Clint, what can you see?
Well, I saw Haskell drive right over the nose of Dale and put him in the fence. Yellow is out for Jim Dale Jr. in the 00. Yeah, it was definite contact between Haskell and the 00 of Jim Dale Jr. We'll get over there and find out what's going on.
It was hard to see from the vantage point here up in the towers. The contact looked like it happened about 3/4 of the way down the front straightaway, and just seen some dust up the side of the race car against the wall. And then Jim Dale Jr. spinning to a stop there in corner 1.
Might have broken a tie rod. I'm not sure. He just looked like he lost steering there when the 21 got a piece of him. We'll get up there and find out what's going on. Jim Dale Jr., one of the guys that looks forward to being here every year at all these events. He's already got the helmet off and working his way out of the 00 car.
And while Clint waits to get a report from the scene down there from the 00, you see the Tate O'Leary number 28K being pushed to the pit side. That driver just 16 years old out of Port Lambton, made his Schweiken debut last year at the age of 15, a regular competitor down at the South Buxton Raceway.
Well, I got Jim Dale Jr. here as he walks around the car to check out the damage. We'll get him a second to get a look at it here. And yeah, the right front is pushed back pretty bad here. Jim will take a look under the hood. But he's all right, folks. Let him know you appreciate he got out of that one all right. Jim, come over here and talk to me quickly. The towing crew will get that for you. Jim, what happened over here in turn 1? You looked all right. You got a lot of experience here and a former track official here. What happened?
I come out high and 21 was there, and he just gave me enough room, and I caught the wall, and that was it.
All right, can you get it fixed? You had a quick look at it.
I don't know. Didn't bring very many spare parts, but there's enough people here with a rocket. I should be able to.
All right, there you have it. You want to see Jim Dale Jr. get to work. They're going to do their best to try and get this one back out. They got a tow hook here. We should have them cleaned up in just a minute, Clayton.
So hopefully the news is not terminal there for the Jim Dale Jr. 00, at least for this evening. Obviously that part can be replaced, so hopefully somebody will be able to help get that car back on the racetrack come feature time. An awesome field of 24 late models signed in for competition here at the Speedway tonight. A full field. Fantastic to see. Everybody gets to make the show. Nobody has to go home early. And we will have a dash for the late models as well tonight. It'll be 4 laps of distance to set the top 6 starting positions for tonight's 20-lap feature, with a $100 bonus on the line to the winner of the dash. So Rob Pitts here, the leader, the driver out of Gasline, Ontario, veteran of basically every track in the Niagara region, and probably just about every track in the province at this point. In that number 69 machine has driven just about everything with 4 wheels on it, and as of late has been a regular competitor on Sunday nights at the Humberstone Speedway in the late model division, and having a great run so far in this heat race with 7 laps complete, 1 lap remaining here to try and pick up a heat race win.
Yeah, former dirt sportsman champ back in the days of the sportsman here at Oswego. And Rob also raced sprint cars here. He's raced modifieds, sportsmen, late models, pretty much everything we've had, except a push car, and I'm sure they've probably raced push trucks back in the day in the rain. It makes me think that him and Freddie Carlton got into it one night in the rain out here in the push cars, and we didn't have much action on the track, but we did have drivers racing. So
Can't see me right now, Clint, but this is my surprised face.
It looks like they've got the 00 Jim Dale on the hook over there. So as you heard him say, folks, he's got a lot of damage. Not sure if he's got the parts, but he does have a lot of friends back there running a rocket chassis like he does. If I'm not mistaken, he won that late model in one of the draws that were going on.
Interesting enough for the 00D machine of Jim Dale Jr., his brother Mike Dale piloting the other 00 car, the red 00 here this evening. He is set to come out in heat race number 3, I believe. And good chance, Clint, maybe to talk about that difference between the two types of race cars that are on the speedway with the late models tonight. We have full-blown super late models that compete under UMP rules on Saturday nights down at the South Buxton Raceway, and then crate late model cars that compete on Sunday nights under Rush late model rules with crate motors on at Humberstone Speedway. And you got a couple of crates up front there with Rob Pitts and the 53 of Brad Simpson. He competes at South Buxton with a crate motor, but then you've got the Jim Dale Jr.'s and the Greg Haskells that have full-blown open motors in those race cars.
Most of them will be the open motors. The crate guys felt they might be at a disadvantage, but Pitts don't look at too much of a disadvantage tonight. The track looks almost perfect for what he needs.
Former Brighton Speedway champion Charlie Sandercock won with an open motor last year, but Kyle Sopas finished in second in this event in a crate motor, so just about anything can happen here as we go with a Delaware double file restart here. Green flag and white flag at the same time. 1 lap to go.
Well, now we'll see what Haskell's got under the hood. Does he have something that he can battle with Pitts? Down the back chute they come. Pitts with a good line, but right about there is where Haskell's top end should start to pay off, and we see him drive up around the nose of Rob Pitts.
And it will be Haskell who picks up the checkered flag there, using that horsepower around the outside. Pitts to the second spot. Brad Simpson third. I believe Brad Othier will take home the 4th position in the 1A, with 5th going to the number 20 of Dwayne Malott. So Heat 1 winner in the RH21 at a Chatham Ontario, the Performance Fiberglass sponsored ride of Greg Haskell. Heat race number 2 rolling trackside now. And starting on the pole in heat race number 2 out of Chatham, Ontario, the Constantino's Pizza Main Street Barbershop number 4 of CJ Field. To his outside at Ridgeway, Ontario, the Bills Toyota Ford Erie PC Roofing number 82 of Ken Winfield. Lining up third at Charing Cross, Ontario, the South Buxton Raceway Boss RV Center number 18R of Chris Ross. And lining up in the 4th spot in car number 3C out of Chatham, Ontario, former UMP modifying driver, the Shinkles Gourmet Meat sponsored ride of Lewis Clement. Starting from the 5th spot in car number 70 tonight out of Leamington, Ontario, the Southwest Diesel Service sponsored ride of Brandon Windsor. And going off in the 6th spot in car number 05 out of Wallaceburg is Mike Lewis. In the 7th starting spot, the 00 of Mike Dale, he's out of Chatham. And the 8th starter in car number 38D out of Essex is Doris Lajeunesse. Green flag waving, 8 laps is the distance. We get set for heat race number 2 with the late models.
Field working on the inside, trying to grab the lead away from Winfield, and he'll do that one. But here comes the 18R ripping up the bottom.
Good start for the number 4 machine of CJ Field. He leads off of corner number 4. 4 cars at the front of the wheel, at the front of the field, pardon me. Chris Ross right there as well as he works on field, now trying to drive around the top off of corner number 2, but had to get on the brakes a bit there.
Yeah, they nearly got together on the exit of turn 2. Ross using that upstairs line to come around Field, just like we saw Haskell come around Pitts, and now Field stumbled a bit to the inside of turn 1.
Right behind the battle for the race lead, Ken Winfield and Mike Lewis going at it for the 3rd position. Lewis trying to roll around the top side, and now caution flag waves. Mike Dale turned around here on the front straightaway.
He fires the 00 back up, should be able to drive away from this one. Yes, he'll back down out of traffic's way. And bring this one back around to the Jim Dale garage. 0-0 for Mike Dale.
So you have your Dales straight now, Clint.
I think so.
Mike Dale is in the 00 sponsored by Jim Dale, and Jim Dale is in the 00D. I think that's right. So Delaware double file restarts here for the late models, a common system for late model racing where the leader gets to keep the front row to himself, retains the advantage he had before the caution came out, and then the second place driver, typically come feature time, will get the choice of whether he wants the inside or outside lane. CJ Fields, the second place driver in the number 4 machine, will line up inside of that second row. So the leader, the 18R of Chris Ross, gets the front row to himself on the restart.
Yeah, they did talk about that driver's meeting. Delaware restart is what they're calling it. Here we go. Ross gets the jump, and he will lead CJ Field back to turn 1, but he got about a 10 car length jump by the time they got to the entrance of 1.
And here comes Mike Lewis, who has the 05 wound up on the top side, gets by Ken Winfield, and now coming after Field for the second spot. Good run up on the top shelf in that number 05 machine, but Field's going to hold him off at the line here as we complete lap number 3.
Yeah, Field got right up in the line of Mike Lewis, who had to get out of it, and Field going to slide up again. Lewis is going to need the crossover. Thought about it, couldn't make it happen that time out of 2.
Yeah, it looked like he had the nose pointed that way off of corner number 2. Couldn't quite make it. Merck Field preventing him from doing that time in turn number 4 as he worked about a half a groove from the top side of the racetrack. And now Lewis losing some ground here, but Winfield not able to make up for it. He will hold on to the 3rd spot as the 18R of Chris Ross running away here in heat race number 2.
Ross with a major advantage over CJ Field. Mike Lewis running in the 3rd spot. Winfield holds down 4th as they bring this one onto the back straightaway, and driving away from them flat out is the 18R of Chris Ross.
Coming back at the 05 of Mike Lewis is the number 82 of Ken Winfield. Winfield to the inside will take the 3rd spot away at the start-finish line with 2 laps to go. All Chris Ross so far in that 18R machine, looking awfully smooth and confident at the front of the field. CJ Field not going to try and hold off Winfield for the 2nd spot, but caution flag is out. We got a couple of cars turned around here on the front straightaway. Mike Dale and the number 70 of Brandon Windsor turned around here in corner number 4. Did not see how that incident developed, but Dale pointed the wrong way, and Windsor with the right rear quarter panel pushed in up against the fence. Both drivers able to refire their cars and get back underway with 6 laps complete, 2 laps remaining, and that will erase the advantage for the 18R of Chris Ross. But Ross looking awfully strong in that machine, and the yellow flag didn't seem to bother him last time. We'll see what he can do on this, what is hopefully the final restart of heat race number 2. Caution lights extinguished, getting set to come back to green here. Next time by the start-finish line, it is Chris Ross leading the field in the 18R, then the number 4 of CJ Field to his outside, the number 82 of Ken Winfield, the top 3 drivers for the final 2 laps. Green flag back out.
Green is out once again. Here we go. Chris Ross and CJ Field lead them here around the back chute. Ross trying to pull away once more.
Here comes Winfield to the inside of CJ Field in turn number 3. Field able to drive way off of corner number 4. A little bit loose, though, as the white flag waves. Chris Ross leads the field into corner number 1 for the final time.
Solid run for Ross in the 18 as he has been the car in this one to beat. Here comes Winfield with that crate-powered 82 back under CJ Field.
Winfield the short way around on the final time off of corner number 4. He will hold on to the 2nd spot. Chris Ross picks up the heat race win. CJ Field 3rd, Mike Lewis 4th. Doris Langenes will come home 5th. Mike Dale looked like he took the 6th position at the start-finish line, which means 7th will go to the number 70 of Brandon Windsor.
Clayton, you're going to have to hold things down. I'll be right back.
We'll get set for heat race number 3 for the late models here this evening. They'll roll off like this, starting on the pole of heat race number 3 out of Blenheim, Ontario, the West Side Performance Plus, Matco Tools, number 88 of Andrew Rayome. To his outside out of Ridgetown, Ontario, the DR Construction, Deerbrook Realty, number RH94 of Jason Haskell. And lining up in the 3rd spot out of Brantford, the Affordable Towing and Recovery 911 of Jay Leverance. Starting from the 4th spot in car number 11 out of Merlin, Ontario, the Chatham-Kent Collision Center, CF Industrial sponsored, number 11 of Brad McLeod. 5th starter in car number 52 is Rick Cedar. He drives the Gearhead shop-sponsored ride. Lining from the 6th position in the 03M out of Tupperville, Ontario, the Boss RV Center car of Tim McKenzie. 7th starter in car number 98, the lone driver from the Brighton Speedway in attendance tonight at Orono, Ontario, the Full Circle Automation Arcade Pools, J&M Restoration and Collision sponsored car of Craig Graham. And the final starter in car number 60 here tonight, that at Ridgetown, Ontario, that is Dale Glassford. We have one other car on the speedway. The blue number 11 was a late arrival. We did not get a name on that driver, so we'll work to try and get that information for you. So the red number 11, we do know that is Brad McLeod, but the blue number 11 was a late arrival just prior to hot laps. We were not able to get any driver information, so we'll work to try and get that for you. Field getting assembled here down the back straightaway, getting set to go green on heat race number 3 for the late models here at Ohsweken Speedway. Their only visit for the 2018 season here on Bradshaw Brothers Fuels Emergency Services Night at the Speedway. Green flag waves. Rayome with the early lead in the number 88 machine. Leads down the back straightaway over the number RH94 of Jason Haskell. Rayome will lead lap number 1 as the field rumbles off of corner number 4. Craig Graham up to the 4th spot now. Coming after 3rd position in that number 98 machine is rookie season and a dirt late model, former asphalt late model driver at the Peterborough Speedway, and all Andrew Rayome so far in the number 88 machine. They are regular competitors south of the border in a super late model division. Runs quite frequently down at the Attica Raceway Park and at Oakshade Raceway in Ohio. So far looking pretty good as the caution flag now waving as the number 52 machine of Rick Cedar turned around at the bottom of corner number 2. We have a quick welcome again to all of our emergency services personnel that are joining us at the Speedway tonight. Appreciate everything you do for us here in the community and all around the province. Make sure that we're able to be safe whenever we need to be. So thank you very much for all of your service. We hope you're enjoying the action here on the Speedway tonight. The Late Model Open and the Action Sprint Tour powered by RaceRivals.com here on Emergency Services Night, presented by Bradshaw Brothers Fuels at the Speedway. As Rick Cedar gets the number 52 machine refired. And those of you watching at home on the live stream enjoying a nice sunset here this evening. And those of you here in the grandstands enjoying that firsthand, the sun setting off of corner number 3 quite beautifully again here tonight. So 2 laps down, 6 to go here in heat race number 3. White flag waving on the Speedway. Again, that Delaware double file restart format here puts the number 88 of Andrew Rayome alone in the front row. The 2nd place car on the RH94 of Jason Haskell opting to restart on the outside. That red number 94 machine. Again, our apologies. We do not have a name on that blue number 11 car running in the 3rd position. 98 of Craig Graham running in the 4th spot. Then the 60 of Dale Glassford, the current point leader at the South Buxton Raceway, as the green flag waves with 6 laps to go. And look at Rayome use that horsepower up on the top side of the speedway. So smooth around the top side of the racetrack in the number 88 machine. Second place to the blue number 11 as Craig Graham takes the bottom lane around to the third position. He gets by Jason Haskell, but he's about to become the meat in the sandwich as Glassford tried the bottom, but now Graham coming after the number 11 machine for the second spot down the back straightaway. Out in front of the field, all Andrew Rayome, though, in that number 88 machine. That car is dialed in so far, and now Graham up to the second spot in car number 98. 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Graham drifting up to the top side of the racetrack. Here comes the number 11 machine back down to the bottom side of the speedway in turn number 3. Graham takes the lane away, though, as Andrew Rayome now has a full straightaway advantage in car number 88. Glassford trying to work his way into the third spot now in the number 60 machine. RH94 of Jason Haskell falling back to the 5th spot. 2 laps to go for Andrew Rayome as he works into corner number 1. The rest of the field just making their way off of turn number 4. Craig Graham with one of his best late model runs to date going in that number 98 machine, looking quite comfortable running up on the top side of the racetrack right now. That Full Circle Automation sponsored ride. Meanwhile, Dale Glassford moving his way into the third position. As the white flag waves one more trip around the park, Rayome into some traffic now, putting the 52 of Rick Cedar and the number 11 of Brad McLeod 1 lap down. Checkered flag will wave. Andrew Rayome picks up heat race number 3. Craig Graham will come home in the second spot. Dale Glassford takes third. The number 11 machine will take fourth. The Jason Haskell, number 94, in fifth. Sixth will go to the 03 of Tim McKenzie. Seventh to the 911 of Jay Liverance. Eighth to the 11 of Brad McLeod. And ninth goes to the number 52 of Rick Cedar. So that completes qualifying competition for the late models here this evening. They'll be back for a 4-lap dash to determine the top 6 starting positions tonight before tonight's 20-lap feature. First of 4 qualifying heats onto the speedway for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Drivers getting set to start their full race program after their makeup feature was completed to start the program here tonight. Scheduled to go off on the pole was the 177 of Tim Jamieson, but he does not make the call, so the inside line will move up. That puts the 13M of Daniel McKay on the pole. To his outside in car number 11, the pinball, Mike Giberson. Going off third, the 05 of Dave Goodacre. To his outside, the 26 is Tim Newell. The 88 of A9 scheduled to go off from the 4th spot. The 16J of Jeremy May to his outside. Then the 63 of Dave Crumby rolling from the 7th position. 96 of Brian Crosgrove, then the 4 of Wade Thorne, and the 60 of Martin Schroeder was the scheduled starting order, but appears as though only 7 cars will make the call here for heat race number 1 of the 11 on the lineup. So green flag waving here. Drivers racing for 5 transfer positions into tonight's feature.
McKay down the back straightaway with the advantage. Here comes Crumby. We saw that car smoking in the first feature. Looks like they've got the bolt side. Oh! Tim Newell goes up over the side of the 60 there, Schroeder, and monster trucks him into the outside wall.
Looked like somebody lost a wheel there. Not sure if it was Newell's number 26. I'm going to guess it was based on how he went over there. Red flag on the speedway there as Newell goes hard into the hay bales in corner 4. Clint headed over to the scene to try and get us a view of what was going on there.
Well, that one took a long while to develop. It was like he was rode up the side, come across the side, up the wall, and looks like he has pierced our brand new
into tonight's feature.
Looked
like he might have gone through there. We're looking at the replay right now on the live stream. And definitely looks like Newell breaks a wheel, goes up on the side of the Schroeder number 60 and straight into the hay bales there. You see the, looks like the right front about 3 or 4 hay bales over to the right of the race car. And Schroeder just had nowhere to go there.
Well, Tim Newell out of the car here talking to the safety crew, and they're smiling under the hood. That one took a while to come together. We will be under delay here for a couple of minutes to get the fence fixed.
Fans, if you're making your way down to the accident scene, please return to your seat. We can't have anybody near the fence there, especially with those repairs going on. So please stay back from the fence there for your safety. Make your way back to your seats, please. It's an excellent opportunity to remind you that if you have your smartphones with you here tonight, you can get a closer look of the accident scene via the live stream. Camera zoomed in there nicely and had a chance to look at the replay via the live stream here. Looks like we're going to get another look here from the roof camera here, and you see Newell's car sideways through the middle of the corner and then loses that wheel and then right up on the side of the Schroeder number 60 and then nowhere to go but into that catch fence in corner number 4.
I got him here with me, Tim. Wild ride. It looked like it took a while to develop. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm good. Anyway, yeah, we just a bunch of bad luck this year. Maddie's winning and I'm losing.
Well, not too bad. At least one of the cars is running good. And this one so far through the fence, Clayton, they're just going to pull it all the way through the fence. And we'll be able to keep rolling here shortly.
So we'll remain under red flag conditions here for the moment as we make those safety repairs to the catch fence in the hay bale area. And got through the hay bale and just underneath one of those cables. The car was just small enough to get underneath the cable there. So catch fence doing its job. The hay bale's doing their job, bringing the car to a safe halt there before it got any further. So a tough start to the night for Tim Newell's number 26 machine, but glad he's okay. So a good chance maybe to get up and stretch your legs, grab yourself a bite to eat. We got fantastic Pinty's chicken available down in the main concession stand, while great Wally Parr sausages, ice cold Coca-Cola box to cool you off here on this fantastic evening for racing here. Italy subs and pizza also available. Don't forget to stop by the Schweeken Speed Shop as well. Check out some brand new t-shirts, hoodies, other apparel, some fantastic hats and other racewear available at the Schweeken Speed Shop. Stop by the Image Factor photography booth as well. Maybe pick up a picture or a magnet of your favorite driver. And actually saw a pretty cool speed shot there from our track photographer Dale Callan of the late Jason Johnson down there. So perhaps a one-of-a-kind picture you could pick yourself up. And if you're looking for something sweet and cool, stop by the Ice Mobile right behind the main grandstand and pick yourself up some ice cream here at the Speedway tonight. And while we don't necessarily like to use it during the race night, we're quite happy to have the Case IH equipment here at our disposal when we need it. And we see that it's coming to our service here to try and pick up a couple of those hay bales so that we can make that fence repair and then get back underway.
Clayton, that's the benefit of what we've got here in our deal with the Case IH folks, is we can just bring out the big equipment, do whatever we need to do to get things back in order here. So that's race cars 3, hay bales nothing so far tonight. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we are here all weekend. Tomorrow, the flat track bikes will take the place of the race cars here on the big speedway. They will run their practice starting at 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock. Qualifying will start at 3 until 5:30. And then at right around 7 o'clock, we will get the feature events underway until about 9:30 or 10. We're going to do the same thing on Sunday, except Sunday, instead of using the whole oval track, they will then use the TT Roval, our Roval. The dirt roval that they built here in the infield. They were testing out last night, Clayton. Looks like it's going to be an awesome show. And just in case you're wondering, they start 18 motorcycles in their A-main features. It is a wild, wild show when the Flat Track Canada bikes come to town.
Can we take credit for having the first dirt roval, Clint?
Yeah, we might be able to. What do you think I get the boss to run the mini stocks through there next week? They'd
Could
probably
be
love
interesting.
It. They would love it. So they're getting a couple of the blocks in place here, and we should be ready to go in just a moment.
Good news is the lineup is already reset there on the back straightaway, so as soon as that area is repaired and the Cleanup crew gives the drivers the okay to get going again. We'll be able to resume action quite quickly here as race director Doug Leonard has the field all lined up and in order. And our final set of qualifying heat races here this evening. 3 more heats to go for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Trying to qualify drivers into tonight's 15-lap feature. The regularly scheduled feature, they've already run 15 laps tonight. Their makeup feature from July the 20th. Started our program off with that race. And week by week, clicking off the makeup features from that July 20th rainout night. Knocked off the Thunder Stocks last week, the Mini Stocks tonight, and the Crate Sprint Cars last week. And the Patriot Sprint Tour was in town on July the 20th. Unfortunately, the rain came just before they were about to take the green flag for their feature. That race will be made up on Friday, September the 14th as part of the Burger Barn night before the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. So an already fantastic sprint car racing just got even bigger as the night before the Nationals will have a 25-lap A main for the Patriot Sprint Tour with already 26 drivers qualified into that main event. Coming up throughout the rest of the month of August here at the Ohsweken Speedway, of course, we have the Flat Track Canada Motorcycles over the weekend, along with Action Expo. Lots of family fun to go on and plenty of motorsports action here at the Speedway. That's Saturday and Sunday over the course of this weekend. Then we're back in action with Friday night excitement next Friday on Renway Energy. Halloween in August and night, and it's also the Art Hill Memorial for the Duel in the Dirt Mini Stock Series. That's next Friday, August the 10th. Then on Friday, August the 17th, it's Jib's Action Sports Kid Race Night for the Canadian National Autism Foundation and Autograph Night for the regular Friday night drivers here at the Speedway, plus the Southern Ontario Sprints roll into town for our second challenge race of the year for the 360 Sprint Cars. Friday, August the 24th, it's Gale's Auto Aftermarket Minor Sports Night with the 360 Sprint Cars, Great Sprint Cars, Thunder Stocks, and Mini Stocks all in action. And then concluding the month of August with Epic Racewear Back to School Night, Backpack Night here at the Speedway, all 4 weekly divisions in action then again. Then we'll have a couple of events in the month of September. On Friday, September the 7th, is Instapanel's final points night for the Cool Kids Core Pack 360 Sprint Cars, plus the Action Sprint Tour finale, as well as the Brock Leonard Memorial for the Thunderstock division, and the Mini Stocks also on the court on championship night for everybody. And then on the big final event of the season, Friday, September the 14th, the Burger Barn night before the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. The 360 Sprint Cars in action for twin 15-lap races, plus that Patriot Sprint Tour makeup feature from July the 20th. It'll be the final points tonight for the Thunderstocks and the Mini Stocks on Friday, September the 14th. And then Saturday, September 15th, a $10,000 to win Aero Express 14th Annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, the biggest event of the year for the Speedway here at Ohsweken. Big weekend coming up. September 14th and 15th. You can find out more for tickets and camping at ticketforce.ohswekenspeedway.com. Back to green flag racing here for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. All 5 drivers are going to make the feature here tonight by virtue of the attrition from the rest of the field, but still going to...
How about the 60, though? Got monster trucked and didn't even slow down. Still out there running good, but McKay with the advantage here over Brian Crosgrove and looks like Crumby and Giberson.
A good run for Daniel McKay's 13M machine up front. Crosgrove had a good run going in that feature earlier tonight and looking strong so far in this heat race as he runs in the second spot. Then, as you mentioned, Crumby in the 3rd position. Giberson running in 4th and Schroeder back in the 5th spot.
McKay up the hill here, running off of turn number 4 onto the straightaway with a good line. Running right through the 3/4 mark, up in those lanes and off of turn number 2. Crosgrove with one of his better runs this year, running good in second right now.
McKay right up in the top groove there through corners 1 and 2. Tries the same thing in turns 3 and 4. Little bobble there in corner number 3. Crosgrove can't capitalize though, and McKay will leave as they come to the halfway sign.
Daniel McKay with the advantage. Crosgrove drops it down to the bottom now, trying to put the nose of the 96 underneath the 13. Gets on the inside, can't quite capitalize just yet though.
So top 3 drivers breaking away from the rest of the field. They fan out 3 wide through corners 1 and 2. Crumby couldn't quite keep it wound up though. Crosgrove to the inside of McKay. Not enough doing there though. McKay will lead at the line with 2 laps to go in this 6-lap qualifying heat race number 1 for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
McKay up around the top, looking good here in this one, bringing it down the back straightaway, but here comes Dave Crumby in the 63C. Crumby on the move now. He will pull up on the inside of the Crosgrove 96.
Crumby right there in that battle for the second position as the white flag waves for Daniel McKay. 3 car lengths his advantage down the front straightaway and into corner number 1 here on this final lap. Now Crumby to the inside of Crosgrove again. Crosgrove with good momentum up top though.
Good 2-car battle for the second position here. David McKay up front all by him lonesome. As they come off of 4, Daniel McKay will grab the qualifying heat win ahead of Brian Crosgrove and the 63 of Dave Crumby.
A pinball Mike Giberson and the 60 of Martin Schroeder will round out the field. Those top 5 drivers all qualifying straight into tonight's A feature. Heat race number 2 trackside now for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. On the pole in car number 69 is Rob Twitchett. To his outside, the number 1 of Jason Tolton. Third starter in car number 54 is Christopher French. And in the 4th starting spot, the number 19 of Kyle Wirt. 5th starter in car number 188 is Paul Longboat. To his outside in row number 3 is the 16 of Fabio Olivieri. 7th starter in car number 21 is Jonathan Ayrton. The 8th starter, the 93 of Andy Rickman. And in the 9th spot, the 15 of Cheeseburger, Sean Iftani. The 10th starting spot goes to the number 9 of Tim DeBoer. And the current point leader, the 222 of Nick Massey, rolls off from the 11th starting spot. Looks like one driver won't make the call, so Massey will roll up into the 10th starting spot. Top 5 drivers will qualify directly into tonight's feature. Everybody else goes to the B main. Green flag from the hand of starter Kyle McKenzie, and we are underway with heat race number 2.
Rob Twitchett with the lead down on the bottom. Jason Tolton running up around the outside. They come down the back chute. I'm assuming that's Wirt in the 19 as they run this one. Off to 3, it's Twitchett with the advantage.
4 wide through the back of the pack. Rickman gets off the top there in corner number 4. That's going to cost him all kinds of time there. Everybody else keeps it straight though, and it is Jason Tolton leading lap number 1 in car number 1.
Tolton been fighting some battles here, but running good tonight. Up front with the advantage in that AMSOIL number 1. Wirt running on the 2nd spot. Twitchett holding down 3rd.
And now Tolton gets up into the loose dirt a little bit. Wirt closes the door. He gathers it back in though, and Tolton able to hold on to the race lead, but Wirt is right there. Twitchett there as well. 3-car battle up front.
Single file behind them, it is Fabio Olivieri and then the 222 of Nick Massey, who had a bad wreck last week, and he's back here running good in the double. Did I say triple 2 tonight? Look at if Toddy go around the outside though.
Yeah, he had a great run off of corner number 2 there. Made it 3 wide on turn number 2. Now coming to the outside of the 188 of Paul Longboat here as we work the back half of this feature, of this heat race, 3 laps remaining now. Wirt coming after Tolton for the race lead. He ducks to the inside in corner 3.
Tolton working on the outside. Wirt on the bottom as they bring it back to 2 to go now, 4 in with just a pair remaining for Jason Tolton, and he drives up the hill and pulls away from the 19.
The last time through corners 3 and 4, Sean Iftani went from the 6th spot all the way back to 10th as he got off the top in corners 3 and 4. Cheeseburger's got his work cut out for him to get into this feature. Going to need some help here as the white flag waves for Jason Tolton. Top 5 separating themselves from the rest of the field. Here comes Massey after Twitchett for 3rd.
Fabio Olivieri down on the bottom with Nick Massey up on his outside quarter as they take it to the back chute. And Massey right up on the wall, chasing, trying to go higher. Twitchett steps up in front. Where's Massey going to go?
And Olivieri will be able to come to the bottom here. He might gain a little bit of momentum. Tolton takes the checkered flag. Wirt to second. Third will be Twitchett. Fourth to Fabio Olivieri. Nick Massey takes the final transfer spot in the 222. Paul Longboat, Jonathan Ayrton, Sean Iftade, Christopher French, and Andy Rickman all will go to the B main. Heat race number 3 set to roll onto the racetrack now. And starting on the pole in car number 6 is Jason Dixon. Scheduled to go off in the second spot, the 11P of Patrick Abramson. Lining up third, the 32 of Jillian Hills, and to her outside, the 517 of Cody Somerville. Nick Erskine rolls from the 5th spot in car number 64, the 6th starter, the 23 of Dusty DeBoer. Starting 7th, the 8 of Barry Westman, and in 8th, the 01 of Tristan De Silva. The 37 of James Martin goes off 9th, and the 6X of Mike Sarantakos, last week's winner, goes from the 10th position. The 66 of John Jansen will start from the 11th spot. Top 5 drivers once again will qualify into tonight's feature. 43 mini stocks were signed in for competition tonight. Only 28 of them are going to make the main event.
Hustling through the program as quickly as we can. Not because we're in a rush, just because we know your time is valuable. Clear blue skies all around tonight. Green is out, and here we go. And look at Jillian Hills, the point leader, whips up on the inside of the Dixon number 6.
Not wasting any time there. The 32 of Jillian Hills made it 3 wide in a hurry, and now they're side by side for the race lead. Hills and Abramson with Dixon lurking in the weeds there. The top 3 drivers breaking away by a couple of car lengths there from the 01 of Tristan De Silva, who runs fourth. The final transfer spot to the 517 of Cody Somerville, but right in the mix, the 23 of Dusty DeBoer.
Onto the back chute they come. Patrick Abramson running in the second spot, but it's all Jillian Hills right now. Dixon in the 6th car. Wilkin to the bottom here, the bottom of 3. And with a career run last week, it was Tristan De Silva coming back at it here in 4th spot.
Somerville holding on to that final transfer spot at the moment in the 517 machine, the 23 of Dusty DeBoer right there. They make a little contact in corner number 2. That's going to open the door for the 37 of James Martin to come by. There's 5 cars battling for the final transfer spot.
Around the bottom comes Hill. She's got this one wrapped up, coming to the halfway point now. Patrick Abramson running in the 2nd spot. Jason Dixon in the 6th, holding on that 3rd spot. And look at Tristan De Silva wheeling that Jib 01, muscling it up through turn 1 and 2.
And behind De Silva, it is absolute chaos for the moment. Dusty DeBoer has the final transfer position in car number 23. Behind him, James Martin and the 66 of John Jansen, who just came off a feature win, trying to make his way into the feature here tonight.
I heard one of those cars popping out there. Not sure which one it might have been, but they all seem to be at full speed right now up to the top side. It's Patrick Abramson pushing the line higher to try and get some momentum to chase after Jillian Hills in the number 2. White flag is out.
And still a good run going for the 01 of Tristan De Silva. He works past the number 6 of Jason Dixon for the 3rd spot. Dusty DeBoer just barely holding off John Jansen for that final transfer spot, but he's got Dixon in his sights for the 4th position, as well as they work off of corner number 4 for the final time. Checkered flag will go to Jillian Hills in car number 32. Second spot will go to the 11P of Abramson. Tristan De Silva 3rd. Jason Dixon holds on to 4th. Dusty DeBoer takes that final transfer spot in the number 23 machine. Then it's John Jansen, James Martin, Mike Sarantakis, Barry Westman, and Cody Somerville all going to the B main. Fourth and final qualifying heat race for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Final heat race of the evening goes off like this. Starting on the pole in car number 2 is Matt Newell. To his outside in car number 10, Ben Buchwald. The 43C of Clinton Nichols rolls from the 3rd spot. The 73 of Jordan Morris 4th. The 155 of Dustin Longboat starts from the 5th spot. The 13P of Vincent Pagnotta starts from the 6th position. The number 3 of Kevin Thorne rolls off in the 7th spot. The 27 junior of Craig Vlasic in 8th. Sam Iftati starts from the 9th spot in car number 11T, and the 13 of Bobby Tolton scheduled to go from the rear, and it appears we got one late addition to the lineup. I believe the 11E is Jeff Elslinger. And my apologies, in that last heat said that John Jansen's won that first feature. Of course, it was Matt Newell. John Jansen's coming home in the 2nd spot. So nonetheless, Jansen's with a 2nd place finish in the first feature and has to go through the B main just to make it into the next feature of the night. So this shows the level of competition in the mini stock division here at the Speedway, with 43 cars signed in for competition. It appears 44 with Jeff Elslinger on to the rear of the field. Pardon me, that's Sam Iftati in the number 11 machine. I believe Jeff Elslinger drove that car last week or the week before, so my apologies for that. So it's Matt Newell and Ben Buchwald on the front row for this restart. Then the 43C of Clinton Nichols and the 73 of Jordan Morris in row number 2. Dustin Longboat's 155 was scheduled to go off from inside of row number 3. Doesn't appear he can make the call. 5 more starting spots on the line as the green flag waves on heat race number 4 for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Matt Newell leading the field into corners 1 and 2. Ben Buchwald on the top side of the racetrack takes 2nd, and they're 3 wide for 3rd.
Matt Newell looking for 2 for 2 on the night. He's driven away from this pack very quickly. Buchwald holding on to 2nd. Then you got Nichols in the mix with the 13 of Pignata there. No! The Vanilla Gorilla of Tolton hits the wall a ton here in the 13, and we'll see if he's able to continue. Looks like he's got issues. He's headed for the back. Wow. Somebody should have told him 13 is an unlucky number, Clayton.
Yeah, not a good start to the night for Bobby Tolton, who's been out of commission for a couple of weeks now. Probably the better part of a month, making his return here tonight and on the first lap of his heat race into the outside retaining wall there in the number 13 after a couple of cars getting out of shape in front of him. The rest of the field, the top 2 for that matter, stretching out a big lead here, almost a full straightaway. 2nd place, Ben Buchwald ahead of the 3rd place runner, Vincent Pagnotta.
Who'd you say was in the 27, Clayton, at the back? Is that Vlasic?
I have Craig Vlasic on my lineup. That's what I'm told.
I seen Craig sitting in the car in tech. He's been driving a truck for the last few years. They just raffled it off Wednesday. And then he's been driving a mini stock for Trevor Clark lately this year, I think. And now he's back behind the wheel of a Mustang. Just kind of threw me off a little bit, but here they come with 2 to go for Matt Newell, Ben Buchwald. They lead them here.
So Newell's got a feature win under his belt tonight, trying to pick up a heat race win. Maybe he has some good karma going for that number 2 machine here on the night. And a good battle for the final transfer spot here as the number 3 machine, Kevin Thorne, working his way into the top 5 and now coming after the 3rd position.
Off of 4 they come to the white flag. Good battle for 3rd on back. Right now it's Vincent Pagnotta, one of the Merrittville regulars, looking for some bit of practice time, I would assume, for the Art Hill race coming up next week, which is part of the Instapanels Duel on the Dirt series. So get your setup, get a bit of practice here, get your Oshweek and bad luck going now. Checkers down for Newell, Buchwald, Pagnotta. And I believe it's Thorne, and the rest of them will cruise on through to complete qualifying race here for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
So that will complete heat race action here. Next up on the card, the B main for the Action Sprint Tour, powered by RaceRivals.com, trying to solve the final 6 starters for tonight's 20-lap feature. Again, this for race number 6 of the 2018 season. Here's how they'll roll off for this 12-lap B main. Starting on the pole at a Rockwood, Ontario, the radio shuttle, Neely Auto, wears automotive number 74 of Rob Neely. To his outside at Hagersville, Ontario, the Iroquois Hereford Farms, IT Rentals, Bickles Hardware, Ackland Insurance, number 49H of Jerry Hill. Starting from the 2nd spot, from the 3rd spot inside of row number 2, at Beamsville, Ontario, the J&E Recovery, Julie Sway's Remax Ace Alignment, number 88H of Josh Hansen. The 4 starter out of Windsor, Ontario, the Jeff's Roofing, Bateman Trucking, Quality Automotive, number 24 of Jeff Newham. And from the 5th spot in car number 69, out of Six Nations, Ontario, it is Josh Hill. Starting 6th in car number 9, out of Brantford, Ontario, the Woodstock Ford, McDonald's of Paris and Brantford, Gales Auto Aftermarket car of Paul Ballantyne. The 7th starter in car number 55, out of Caledonia, the Ace 1 Construction, Aitken Motors Burger Barn, number 55 is Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne. The 8th starter in car number 38 out of Ashwegan, the Ashwegan Speedway Epic Raceway sponsored ride of Derek Miller. And rolling off 9th in car number 51 out of Ancaster is Trevor Young. 10th starter after some problems in his heat race out of Stouffville, Ontario, the Transport Sales and Service Durnan Motors Retail Design Group number 43H of the gunslinger Ryan Hunsinger. And rolling from the 11th spot, the 3B of Blaine Barrow. He comes out of Welland. The 22 junior of Al Gilletta Jr. starts from the 12th position, completing tonight's B main lineup for the Action Sprint Tour powered by RaceRivals.com. Again, the top 6 drivers will qualify into tonight's 20-lap feature.
Tough field here for them, Clayton, as they get ready to roll. You got Mike Thorne back there, the 360 driver, back where he cut his teeth. You got Josh Hill in this one, Derek Miller, who's just squeaked into last week's race. A lot of drivers on the cusp of future solid runs here in the crates. Let's see what they can do here as we bring it back to green. Neely gets on the gas with Jerry Hill.
Good start with 3 cars up in front of the field. Good beginning there for the 74 of Rob Neely, but here comes the 49 of Hill to the outside, side by side for the race lead here through corners 3 and 4. A whole gaggle of cars trying to get themselves sorted out in the middle of the racetrack right now to be complete lap number 1 of the 12-lap B main.
Only the top 6 will make it in tonight, so a lot of drivers racing for their nightly run here tonight. So far, it is Rob Neely, Jerry Hill, Josh Hansen, Josh Hill, then Mike Thorne already into the mix, and Paul Ballantyne has got Ryan Hunsinger working to his inside. Here comes Hunsinger with a good line off the bottom.
Good battle for that final transfer position. Ballantyne and Hunsinger side by side into corner number 3. The gunslinger on the bottom, Ballantyne on the top. He'll hold the position for the moment at the start-finish line as the battle for the race lead continues to heat up. Jerry Hill all over the back of the number 74 of Neely.
And Neely coming over from the pavement, a veteran of many forms of racing here, but getting his first full year done on the dirt and looking pretty comfortable out front here, the RaceRivals.com B main.
So Neely comes across the line to complete lap number 5. It'll be halfway next time by. Final transfer position at the moment belongs to the gunslinger Ryan Hunsinger in the 6th spot. He's about 10 car lengths ahead of the 9 of Paul Ballantyne. The best race on the speedway remains for the lead as Jerry Hill continues to try and battle with Rob Neely. Those 2 drivers running very similar lines around the racetrack right now though, Clint.
Rob Neely right through the middle, looking good out here in the Radio Shuttle 74. Trevor Young goes around in turn 1 and 2.
Caution flag on the speedway. Jeff Newham up over the banking there to avoid the incident. Nearly got that car sideways, but kept his foot in it and will continue on as the yellow flag waves here at the halfway mark for the Action Sprint Tour.
Tough break for Trevor Young, but an advantage, or maybe a bit of a chance here, let's call it, for Paul Ballantyne, as he will now get another shot at Hunsinger for that last transfer position. They get Trevor Young pushed off, and we'll get going here in just a moment. 50-50 already over $1,000, ladies and gentlemen, so keep buying those tickets. It has already eclipsed $1,000, and I got that note a good half an hour ago, so I'd be willing to say we're probably up around $1,100 or $1,200 right now in tonight's 50-50. Don't forget, we are here all weekend, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come out. It is going to be a great weekend here at the Big O. The Harley-Davidson Parts Canada Flat Track Bike National Championship gets underway here tomorrow night on the big 3/8 mile oval, the same track they're racing on tonight and Sunday night. The same crew will be back to race here on the infield TT track. And Clayton, I asked Aaron Hesmer from Flat Track Canada how many bikes he thought he would have here tomorrow and Sunday. He said tomorrow they expect 200 competitors and 17 divisions of motorcycles here. So if you're wondering what you're going to see a whole heck of two-wheeled bikes going around here.
Yeah, that's quite the
That's impressive.
level of entertainment. That's
200
that's very
bikes,
impressive.
I wouldn't have guessed that high. I was shocked. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
okay
stunned
then.
to hear that
We're
number.
ready to go. Here comes Neely. He's ready to go. Green flag is out. 74 leads him off to turn number 1.
Back to green past that restart cone on the front straightaway. Everybody makes it through as Neely continues to lead. Jerry Hill, Josh Hansen in the number 88 machine holding on to the third spot as Mike Thorne continues to work to the inside of the 69 of Josh Hill, and Ryan Hunsinger holding down that final transfer position right now.
Thorne with a good run down the hill, but Josh Hill maintaining that position. Can't quite knock him out of the spot yet, but Thorne is trying.
Still Neely out in front of the field with less than 4 laps to go here in heat races 3 and 4. The 49H machine, though, of Jerry Hill not going away. He draws to the back tail tank of the 74 machine going into corners 1 and 2. Hill within striking distance of the Neely 74, but he's going to have to make his move sooner rather than later as they'll get 2 laps to go this time by. And now trouble for the Al Gilletta Jr. turned around. Tries to keep his foot in it, but not going to work as he comes to a stop at the top of corner number 2.
Yellow out there. We'll see if that completes lap 10 or if that takes us back to lap number 9. Either way, good bit of effort by Alan Gilletta Jr. to keep his foot in it, get turned around, got a little bit too turned around, couldn't get it squared up, had to back out of it. And that will bring us under caution one more time.
That is one of the most impressive feats in sprint car racing, when a driver can loop those cars around, Clint, do a 360 and keep on going. If you can do that, man, that's pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, lots of times they get that done, Clayton. It is a beautiful bit of driving when they can make it work.
One of my favorite gifs I ever saw on the internet was when Kyle Larson and Brent Marks spun simultaneously, did 360s and kept on going. I think it was at Fairbury earlier this year. That was pretty satisfying to watch. Both cars do the exact same thing at the same time in turn number 2.
Send a shout out to the track crew, looking fairly good tonight. They did a great job this week. And we are set to go. White flag is out, 2 laps to go to decide the finish of this last chance race presented by RaceRivals.com for the Action Sprint Tour. This is round 6.
After tonight, we'll be 6 rounds down, 4 to go.
Yeah, I want to send a shout out to Sherry from South Buxton. We had a great time in Buxton. I saw Sherry here. Wherever you are, thanks for having us. Here we go. Green is out, and it's Neely on the loud one again, but Hill.
Green, white checkered finish to this B main for the Action Sprint Tour, powered by RaceRivals.com. Rob Neely continuing to hold the point position in the 74 machine. Then the 49H of Jerry Hill in second. Josh Hansen third. White flag waving.
They bunched up behind Ryan Hunsinger, and he nearly got overhauled by a bunch of them. Now Thorne dropping back into the last transfer spot. He's in danger of not qualifying.
Derek Miller has a couple of chances to make this final move here in turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves. Jerry Hill's going to steal the win from Rob Neely. And on the final corner, it's going to be Mike Thorne that holds on to that final transfer position.
Trevor Young nearly got him. Did you see that? Wow.
That was awfully close as Trevor Young dove to the inside there to try and take that final transfer spot, but falls 1 position short. So it's Jerry Hill, Rob Neely, Josh Hansen, Josh Hill, Mike Thorne, and Ryan Hunsinger all transferring into tonight's feature. Trevor Young, Derek Miller, Blaine Barrell, Paul Ballantyne, Al Gilletta Jr., and Jeff Newham all on the trailer early tonight. So fantastic racing from the drivers from the Action Sprint Tour here. Qualifying and preliminary action all complete for them. Just their 20-lap feature still to come. And Clint, I can confirm that Adam Ross has made his way to the tower, and we'll jump and join on us here. We're gonna have to play to share our toys up here because we only have 1 microphone in the tower tonight. So I'll pass things over to Adam as we get set for our Thunderstock B main.
Great to be here. Beautiful night for racing, Clint. Sorry I'm late for work.
I was going to give you a few minutes to catch your breath, big guy.
Catch my breath, I'm already a slice of pizza into the show. Thanks to whoever brought the box of pizza. Is that you down there with your hand up? That's the best tasting pizza I maybe ever had. Man, I'm hungry. Okay, Thunderstock Consolation Race 7 cars going to transfer to the show. Starting on the pole, number 4 is Aaron Rowitsky on the outside, the 46 of Kevin Pauls. 38 of Frank Turkey on the second row on the inside, and outside of him is scheduled to be the 40 of Jay Leverance. 52 of Tony Fraser starts on the inside of row 3, and on the outside is 74 Steve Vandersdam. The 3C is Devin Bacher. The 7 is Jason Longaro. 13X is Craig White. 93 Melissa Miller. The 4H is Pat LaJeunesse, and the 13 is Bobby Mercer. That's how they line up. Remember, 7 cars transfer to the main event.
Good to have you back. Big guy all around the bottom. How about this guy, Aaron Rowitsky? They realized the other day they had chunks on the bottom of their transmission pan when they changed the oil. They were saying that their sponsor jumped in there and took good care of them. Not only did they repair the transmission, Adam, they were able to drop the race car off, and the transmission shop installed it in the car for them to save them time.
That is a great sponsorship.
That's service, man.
And I do love the look of that Aaron Rowitsky number 4. That's been in some pretty hard wrecks this season.
Yeah, rolled hard not too long ago.
And it still looks presentable. Looks great.
So they're trying to get Steven Vandersanden back into the right position so we can get ready to go here once more.
Yeah, a lot of cars are trying to shuffle into the right order. So who are we missing? Jay Liverance? From the original order, there are supposed to be 12 cars. There are 10.
Well, I got it here. I want to make sure we got them out. It's Action Transmission and Simcoe came up huge for us today, said Aaron on his Facebook page. So thanks, Action Transmission. I know the Rowitsky boys are happy. Here we come. Green flag is out. And this time it'll be Kevin Pauls. And Adam, you want to see one hell of a hockey player. That Kevin Pauls has got some skills, buddy.
Is that right?
Oh, we play on Mondays, and he toys with us, I can tell you that.
You play with him on Mondays in the summertime?
No, every Monday, all off-season. From October, a whole bunch of us get together down
Okay, that's acceptable.
It's awesome. There you go, 4-5 wide, Adam. Wow.
They're working on it. Down through the corner, Kevin Pauls holding them off. Aaron Rowitsky on the inside, and that's Steven Vandersdam giving a nice run to the 74. And how about that run up the outside by Melissa Miller?
Yeah, good drive up the track for the 93 car. They all want to get in this one. Now Kevin Pauls with problems. Adam, look at his back hood, or it looks like the trunk lid is almost acting like a sail out the back of that one for him. And look at Miller. She is up on the wheel tonight.
Yeah, she's giving that car a great drive. Not sure what the problem is with Pauls, Tony Fraser, and the 38 machine of Frank Turkey off the racetrack. They're headed for the pits.
Only one of these cars will not qualify. Steven Vandersanden, third generation pilot out here. His grandpa was an amazing racer. Harry Vandersanden, remember him running mod stock at 75 years old.
I wish I could say that I did remember, Clint, but Melissa Miller with a bit of a problem there in turn number 4. That battle for the final position has heated up. Brian Paul's hanging on by the skin of his teeth, and right now Bacher looking to make a move on Melissa Miller as they race just behind the 13 of Bobby Mercer.
And look at Rowitsky with a big lump down in 3. Car got upset, but he keeps his foot in it. Working on position 7 is where we're watching here for the last one. Oh, Miller gets a piece of the fence. Not sure if Pauls got up in here, but there was definitely sparks and dust flying. Now Pauls may have a right rear down.
Yeah, I believe there was some contact there between Melissa Miller and Pauls. I didn't see what started it, but we did see the end. 2 laps to go.
This will be it for Kevin Pauls here. He will see the black flag with that right rear tire. And that'll be it for him. Longaro down the back straightaway with Steven Vandersanden running in the 2nd spot. Rowitsky 3rd.
All the cars on the track are going to run the feature event tonight. They've got one more lap to complete this consi.
And down onto the back stretch they go. Longaro with the advantage for the Club 54 Racing. Killer Bees, number 7. Vandersanden holding on to that 2nd spot in the 74. Rowitsky, LaJeunesse, and Mercer bring it around. Bacher and Miller, as you mentioned, out, they will all make it in tonight.
Everybody on the track going to make it into the dance tonight. Thunderstock's always a great show. Now, Clint, I saw a picture of a mini stock through the fence. Was that down in turn 1? I was looking at the Facebook.
Yes.
It was in turn 4.
No, turn 4, yes. Sorry, turn 4, we tested out the new catch fence.
Wow. It caught it.
It certainly did. Only the back end of the car, though. But to be fair, in that portion of the track, we purposely at this point don't have concrete walls. And had we had a concrete wall, Tim Newell would have been feeling a lot more, pain than he is right now, let's say.
Yeah, concrete is unforgiving. I'm going to pass the mic back to Clayton Johns for this late model race.
Thank you very much, Adam. The dash for the late model open here tonight to determine the top 6 starting spots in tonight's feature. 4 laps will be the distance, $100 bonus to the dash winner here this evening. Here's how they'll line up. Starting on the pole to Chatham, Ontario, the Performance Fiberglass Blazing Barbecue Loop Tech RH21 is Greg Haskell. To his outside to Charing Cross, Ontario, the South Buxton Raceway Boss RV Center number 18R of Chris Ross. Third starter in car number 88 at a Blenheim, Ontario, the Westside Performance Plus Matco Tools number 88 is Andrew Rayome. To his outside of the gas line, Ontario, the Bob Pitts Heating and Air Conditioning, Dow Auto Supplies Port Colborne Thruway number 69 of Rob Pitts. To the inside of row number 3 at a Ridgeway, Ontario, the Bills Toyota Fort Erie PC Roofing number 82 of Kenny Winfield. And to his outside at a Orono, Ontario, the Full Circle Automation Arcade Pools J&M Restoration and Collision number 98 is Craig Graham. So 6 cars, 4 laps is the distance. How they finish this dash will set up how they will start tonight's 20-lap A feature. So the top 2 finishers from each of the 3 qualifying heat races making their way into the dash here for the late model open here at Ohsweken Speedway off of corner number 4, green flag waving.
And here they go off to 1. It'll be Haskell down on the bottom, Rayome giving chase, and here comes Ross up around the outside.
Good run for Chris Ross. He liked the top shelf in his heat race and continuing to do so here in the dash. He gets a good run off the hill in corner number 4. Chris Ross leads lap number 1.
Ross working that outside lane, coming back around the outside of the Haskell machine. Pitts holding a good line, running there in 3rd.
Haskell in the 2nd spot, and Pitts and Andrew Rayome side by side for the 3rd position right now. 2 laps down, 2 laps to go here in this 4-lap dash. $100 on the line to the dash winner. All Chris Ross so far out in front in the 18R. He'll see the white flag this time.
Just want to make everybody aware that, as we mentioned, no B main required for these guys tonight as they work this one off. And we want to mention that Chris Ross, his transponder not showing up right now. They'll work it, but he is actually the leader if you're watching timing and scoring.
Checkered flag waves. Chris Ross picks up the dash win. Greg Haskell will take 2nd. Andrew Rayome 3rd. Rob Pitts will be 4th. 5th will go to the 98 of Craig Graham, and the 82 of Ken Winfield scored in the 6th spot. So that is how those drivers will start tonight's A feature for the late model open. Chris Ross has the pole for tonight's 20-lap main event. That sends us to a pair of mini stock B mains for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. We'll send things back over to Adam Ross.
Well, I got to send a quick shout out to all my buddies back in St. Catharines supporting Ohsweken down at T-Mac's Bar and Sometimes Grill. T-Mac and the boys, wish you could be with us here tonight. Glad you're at least watching online. Save me a cold one, boys.
You know, Clint, we've got to get on that bandwagon of getting bars to show the races. We tried so hard out in Edmonton last Friday to get the races on a TV in a bar, and they looked at us like we had 4 heads when we said we wanted to stream something off the internet on one of their gigantic screens.
Well, one thing I can tell you, it is a project that Glenn and I have talked about, making deals with some of the larger establishments. We'll provide the live stream, the smart TV, if they promise to play our broadcast every Friday, and the rest of the week, they do what they want. So next year, you never know, we may have a whole fleet of bars we're sending shout-outs to.
So the Tolton number 13 back on the racetrack. I heard on the radio that he hit the wall pretty hard. Here's how they line up for B main number 1. Jonathan Ayrton on the pole in that 21. So we've got a bunch of drivers, I guess, that did not make the call for this one because that doesn't look like my lineup. But Jonathan Ayrton in the 21, Christopher French in the 54, Sean F. Toddy in the 15, Cody Somerville in the 517, Mike Sarantakos in the 6X, Barry Westman in the 8, Clinton Nichols out there in the 43C, Bobby Tolton in the 13, and Dave Goodacre in the 5. Contact on the front stretch.
Somerville got way loose. I thought he was going to eat that turn one wall. Onto the back sheet goes Jonathan Ayrton, Barry Westman, French, Iftati, and here comes what they've affectionately called the Vanilla Gorilla, the 13 of Tolton up around Westman.
Remember, the top 4 is where they've got to finish. We've got some good race cars in this one as Tolton tries to squeeze to the outside of Christopher French. They make contact on the front straightaway. If Toddy to the inside, 3 wide, they race off at turn 4.
Well, fine, Bobby Tolton. I sure hope that Christopher French peripheral out the right side was working because he snuck on him as they got onto the back straightaway. And here comes the 13 from dead last up to second.
Well, and look at Mike Sarantakos, winner from last week in the 6X, and he's going to have his work cut out for him. Those are good race cars between him and a qualified spot for the feature.
Yeah, F. Toddy, another one, too, at the top of the point standings. Not the very top, but certainly in the battle in 2018. And look at Tolton. He broad slid that right up the inside of the 21 of Ayrton, letting his presence be known here tonight.
He's about to drive over his own front bumper. Look at the left front corner of that race car. The bodywork is flopping away. Oh, pitches it sideways, spins around the wrong way. My goodness.
And you know what, Adam? He is very lucky to get the yellow the way he got it. And one thing I can tell you that is going to save him here. If you stop under yellow because you spin out and wait for the yellow, you will be sent to the pit. Your night is over. Doug does never mess around with that. But Tolton did not get his foot off it. When he got backwards, facing the wrong way, Doug said yellow right away because everybody was bearing down on him. Because Tolton kept his foot in it, he will not face that penalty, Adam, which big move.
Well, his bigger problem right now is he's got to finish this race in what I would bet are filled pants. I mean, he was sitting backwards. Did you see how fast the field was coming at him?
Not only that, when you're that, you're frustrated. You were leading this thing and solidly into the B, or right at the front, and now you're going to have to do it all over again in the same amount of laps. Watch for the 13 to work the outside. If I'm his pit crew, I'm spraying WD-40 when he goes down the back straightaway because they're going to have to lube up the side of that one. You know he'll be scraping that wall all the way around here to try and make some moves. Or maybe he throws a big one at us, Adam, and dives right to the inside. I don't think so, though.
I don't think so either. Time will tell. Sean F. Toddy on the inside in the 15, Jonathan Ayrton on the outside in the 21, Mike Sarantakos in the 6, Christopher French in the 54. Those cars are in the qualified spots. Green flag is out.
Sarantakos, Iftati, and Ayrton are all 3 guys you'd expect to be in the mix. Here comes Tolton, already around the Goodacre machine, already around Westman, now working on Vlasic and French. He might get there, and they get jingled up in front of him, and he catches them at him.
Catches them right away. The 4 cars that were in transfer spots all went to the outside. Each one of them, even though they lost positions going into 1 and 2, it paid off at the end of the lap because they're in the top 4 again, and Bobby Tolton and Clinton Nichols are looking for room.
Tolton needs to get around Nichols and French, but can't do it yet. It's all Jonathan Ayrton. And now we'll watch the 13 as Nichols comes up in front of French. Tolton's there now on the back bumper. He's got to get around one more lap.
Clinton Nichols did a nice job to hang on to that. Christopher French got in the back end of the 43, and I think that's going to hurt his chances. French is on the outside. Here's the battle for 4th. The top 3 are locked into the show as they come through 3 and 4. Oh!
They got together down the back straightaway. Christopher French is going to come around and grab the final qualifying position here. Oh my goodness. Bobby Tolton should just go home to bed. He has not had a great night here, but he has had a great night, if that makes any sense.
Well, he had a spectacular night as Clinton Nichols drives back to the pits with the window net down.
Fans, how about a round of applause for Bobby Tolton? He's done for the night, but he gave you your money's worth throughout this one. And
I don't know if Clinton Nichols had that right rear go down before he turned across the racetrack, and that caused him to turn across the racetrack because it was an odd place for him to cut down into turn number 3, but obviously contact was made.
I'll tell you what I saw. Going down the back straightaway, They just touched a little bit. You know, just hard racing. That might have been enough to get the tire down. Then they got together again one more time, and then they went around by the time they got to the entry in turn 3.
They fight hard. That's the advantage. That's the show you can put on when not everybody makes the main event. Right? They're willing to take chances. They have to take chances to get into the dance.
One more qualifying race before we go to quick intermission, and then we will have our 4 feature events coming up. It'll be the Action Sprint Tour feature, followed by the mini stocks, late models, Action Sprint Tour, Thunder Stock, late model, then mini stock to wrap up the night here. Want to welcome everybody from Bradshaw Brothers here tonight, and want to say hi to all our friends, staff members, and racers watching from Knoxville, Iowa, as part of the Knoxville 360 Nationals. We will talk a little bit about that coming up, and want to send the best wishes to all of our competitors trying to represent our Shwekin Speedway at the 360 Nationals. Adam, with the lineup for the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, we're missing our front row of Tim Newell and Jeremy May from the looks of it, so it's going to be Andy Reichman in the 93 on the inside. Outside of him will be the 188 of Paul Longboat. The 66 is John Jansen's, and to his outside, is that the 37? I'm going to wait till he comes around. How many 93s do we have, Clint?
I see 1. I see 2. Do I see 9? Do I see 3?
So car number 11 is Sam Iftadi, the 11T.
Who's the black 93?
37 is James Martin. The 4 is Wade Thorne. The only driver I can think that I mean, Tim DeBoer is supposed to be out there in the number 9. He's up there in the points, so it's possible that he jumped into a car to go out and earn some points, but the officials are a little bit curious as to who's behind the wheel of that race car, the black 93.
Green is out. Reichman doesn't get a good start, and he will fade back in this one very quickly, and on to turns 1 and 2 they go.
Paul Longboat out in front of Jansen's in the 66. They streak away with Thorne taking over 3rd. Reichman starting to strike back now on the back straightaway. He's in that 4th position.
Off before they come, it is the 66 of Jansen's with the lead now over the Longboat. 188 as they bring it back to turns 1 and 2. Trying to find a line on the inside is Thorne in the 4.
Top 4 are nose to tail, and I apologize. This is the trouble with being late, not being sure who's in what race cars. But nonetheless, the top 4 are in transfer spots, and they are pulling away from 5th place.
Off the bottom, here comes the 4 of Thorne up alongside the Reichman 93, and they come together tight here. Down the back chute they go.
Close quarters racing. Looks like they're going to split the 188 of Paul Longboat, but Longboat gets through the corner fairly well as Wade Thorne drives to the inside. Reichman drives to the outside as Longboat working the middle of the racetrack, and out in front is Jansen's all by himself by about 8 car lengths.
Off the backside comes the Jansen 66 with a good margin out front of the 188 of Longboat. But here comes Reichman and Thorne. They look solidly in this one, Adam.
Well, and Thorne in that 4th position with no rear view mirrors. He can't be too sure where the next car is behind him, but Reichman in the 93 looks to be wanting to make a challenge on the Longboat machine. He'll drive to the inside. They'll race side by side out of turn 4, but Longboat doing a nice job running a really smooth line, Clint.
As they bring this one to the bottom, now it is Jansen's and the Toyota machine down the back chute. It's not a Toyota, but he's sponsored by a Toyota. We got problems down in turn number 3. Debris right there in the middle of the groove.
And that's curious. There's not a yellow car out there, but from here it looks like a big chunk of yellow something.
Yeah, it looks like a piece of plastic off one of the cars, but not sure who it would be off of.
So Kyle Miller is what's coming up on the electronic scoring in that 24X. We must have used up a lot of race cars in the heats, Clint.
Yeah, we had some issues with Newell. Obviously got into his mess. And, man, that was a wild one, Adam. I wish I had saw that. We'll have to watch that one on the replay later. But lost the wheel, got up over the side of the 66, and wheeled it to the inside there and took it through the outside turn 4 fence. We'll have a quick intermission right after this, ladies and gentlemen, just to grab our Performer of the Week and our Top Guns. And then we will jump right back into 4 feature action. Don't forget, gates open here at noon tomorrow in the back. You can watch from the pits or the grandstand for the same price tomorrow. Come on out and see us. Check the websites for all the information, actionexpo.com or oswekonspeedway.com. I want to welcome everybody from the Parts Canada Harley-Davidson Flat Track Ranks. One other thing I want to mention, tomorrow from noon to 6, only out here, we're going to have the Harley-Davidson Test Your Metal. They've got 22 brand new Harley-Davidsons, and if you have your motorcycle license, come on out here, sign up for a test drive, and you can drive a brand new Harley-Davidson right on our driveway for a good test ride tomorrow. That's our Harley-Davidson Test Our Metal program tomorrow from noon to 6.
That sounds like a pretty cool deal as we see the green and white flag at the same time from Kyle McKenzie. 1 lap to settle this score.
One last one to get it done. It'll be Jansen's around the outside of turn 1 and 2. Longboat running through the middle. Solid run for him after he's getting his feet wet here in the mini stocks from moving up out of the Bombers.
Yeah, they've all done a really good job. The drivers that have moved up. Checkered flag in the air. Jansen going to take the win. Longboat will come home second. Reichman in third. Wade Thorne fourth. Sam Iftati and Kyle Miller not going to make it to the big show. That'll do it for qualifying tonight, Clint. Quick intermission is now. Race fans, let's have a look at what you missed if you weren't here for our last round of Friday night excitement.
No problems at the front. 3 of them tangled up. Dinning keeping his foot in and trying to get straight, and the carnage just keeps going on, and it gets worse. We got them skidding all the way down, and this is going to be a big issue for some of these drivers. They've got another feature event to come tonight. DeBoer on the move here, running through the middle. Here comes Bailey right up the back bumper with a good head of steam. Chris Dickey not ready to give up this race either. We got 1.5 laps to go, or 2 to go, sorry. It's going to be a good one.
White flag this time by for Trevor DeBoer. Already in the mini stocks, we've seen Dusty and Tim DeBoer get their first career wins. Can Trevor DeBoer get it done here tonight?
Here he comes down the back straightaway, looking pretty good. He's got a 3-car length advantage. Off to 3 they go. Here he comes off of 4. Can he get it done?
Off the 4th corner, the champ breathing down his neck. Double checkers out. Trevor DeBoer gets the win on the Mert Timpson auto number 23.
Down the back chute they go. Werwitzki up on the outer lane. Open up the bottom for Ferguson. Kevin Pauls, he had problems there. Oh! Hoskins loses the wheel and goes up on his roof, and we are under red.
That wheel went straight under the front bumper of Rob Hoskins, and he went straight up in the air.
Green flag is out. Here we go. Hannah Farrell leads them to the inside of turn number 1. Aaron Turkey trying to high side, smooth around the top. 68 will get the nose, but will he get the lead into 3? No, he does not.
Bobbles just a little at corner number 3. Here they come off the 4th corner on the outside line. Troubles now for DJ Christie, and Liam Martin goes around in front of the field.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Down into 3. Here comes Jacob Dykstra with a massive slide job. Tries to pull up in front of Turkey. Turkey gonna slide it. Can't do it. Has to get off it. Now we'll see if he sticks to the game plan. Dykstra nearly loses it right in front of the leader. Bounces up over the berm. Oh my goodness! Aaron Turkey with the leader. Back here comes Holly Porter on the inside. Turkey with the nose wing down. What a crazy battle you've got here. The nose wing has collapsed on the Aaron Turkey 68. Shouldn't hurt him too bad up on the outside. 3 laps to go for Holly Porter. And Sean Evans with the bit in his mouth coming after Aaron Turkey 68. Turkey up on the outside with an issue with that nose wing. Holly Porter all alone out in front. 2 laps to go. She's got 3 cars on the bottom. But if it stays green, I don't think they'll be able to catch her. Evans now trying to put a move on Aaron Turkey as Holly Porter has to woe it up for a slow DJ Christie. Aaron Turkey back underneath Sean Evans. Here she comes on the back straightaway. Final time into turn 3 and 4. Holly Porter looking to grab the feature win. She'll win it on Pinty's night here at the Big O. Holly Porter gets it done ahead of Sean Evans, Aaron Turkey, Jacob Dykstra, and the 56 of Derek Lemaire.
Double greens in the air. We're underway with the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. And Daniel McKay and Jeff Elslager will lead them through 1 and 2.
Trying to hustle through the program here. Two fairly newcomers to Schweeken, running good at the front of this one. Now Jason Dixon on the inside, running in the third spot, trying to get around the longboat, 188.
Elslager will lead the lap. McKay in second. Longboat, Dixon, and Thorne are your top 5. And it is a mess from 5th on back as they are 3, 4, almost 5 wide.
Here we go. We are on it again with Eslinger leading them off to turn 1.
McKay there in second, but Thorne's had a racy looking car. Oh, we got a big flip up in corner number 2 as Kyle Wirt goes up and over. He's moving around, getting the gloves off. We're going to get a chance to look at the replay, and yeah, that good call, Clint. That's exactly what happened. He just caught that rut and just snapped the car around.
Massey got into the back end of Sarantakis and Tim DeMore also in there. They somehow got squared up on that one. 5 wide off of turn number 4 they come.
Oh, and Tolton gets in Elslager, who hits Longboat. Now to Silva into Dixon, and somehow they're all going straight. And we watched the replay again, and it looked like what you would call the big one at Talladega or Daytona.
I don't think he's ever won a race either. Sarantakis up on the outside into Silva, going to slide job up in front. They've been watching the sprint cars.
Here they go, 2 laps to go, says Kyle McKenzie. De Silva leads, Sarantakis second. Jillian Hills has dropped to third. Now the veteran, Mark Bazine, is right up there.
Working their way down the back straightaway. 3-car battle for the win here in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Who's it gonna be? 1 lap to go.
Here they come. 3-car battle for the win, and at the line De Silva barely leads over Sarantakis. He's got that purple people leader wound up on the top side. They'll go wheel to wheel down the backstretch the final time.
Here they come into turn 3. Hills trying to be the upsetter. She will drive it on the inside. Sarantakis around the outside. De Silva pushes up. Who's it gonna be? Sarantakis is gonna steal it at the line.
Wow.
Mike Sarantakis grabs his first feature win ahead of Tristan De Silva, Jillian Hills, Mark Bazine. Green flag is out, we're on it. Kevin Paul's leading Jay Leverage to the inside of turn number 1 for the first time.
Blake Bomberry in behind them in that third spot. He's looked really racy all night from the first feature through the heats, and if not for that flat tire in that first feature, he may have had a stronger performance.
Leverance with the advantage, and Bomberry running in the second spot. Kevin Paul's slow, small victories for him too. They finished top 10 on opening night, and that was a big win for them guys as they get their feet wet here in the Dirt Thunder Stocks. Back to 3 they go, and Leverance is all the 40 car. Leverance still out front in control of the number 40, and if we had to go yellow, this race could be called official. It's halfway, but we're going to do our best to get through this, and the sprint car feature still to come to complete the program here tonight. Here comes Bill Bleach climbing on the ladder up to the top shelf to try and come back after the 40 of Leverance. They'll get him at the line.
Wow, good run by Billy Bleach as he works the outside line. Leverance, they're in second, but here comes Beagle. He's going to try and follow suit and get around the number 40. He's on the top side at 3, gets a good run into the corner, and he's chasing down Bleach.
Off of turn 4 comes the leader, Bill Bleach, in the 108. Still with the advantage out front of the 984 here of Ryan Beagle. But Leverance has held strong inside the top 5 so far, Greg.
Yeah, he's done a really good job in that 40 car. Now we got a wheel loose off of Zach Bleach's 108X, and that will bring out the caution flag. It's coming to you, Clint. Oh, we almost flipped a push vehicle. Billy Bleach right front is broken on that car. He is deciding to to stay out with that right front. Green flag is back out. Oh, now Bleach will pull it right into the infield.
Green is out. Here we go. Beagle runs up to the top side of 1 and 2. Christopher Hale trying to find a line on the inside, and they go 4 wide for the lead down the back straightaway.
Wow, big run for Logan Schwedick. He's into the top 4 now. Here he is working around the outside. Dave Bailey, the point leader's up there as well. And here comes Beagle into corner 3. Oh, he had to get on the brakes. He was about to go up over the berm. Bailey shoots down the banking, and now he will lead with 2 to go.
2 to go for Dave Bailey. He'll slide it up in front of Ryan Beagle's 84 RK as they bring this one onto the back straightaway. Here comes Beagle back into the mix.
We've got our eyes on Bailey and Beagle, but don't forget about Christopher Hale and Blake Bomberry. They're ready to pounce. White flag is out. One more time around, Bailey leads the lap.
Bailey here through 1 and 2, bringing this one onto the back straightaway. The Queenston Chevrolet Jibs Action Sports 49 of Dave Bailey working his way back to the top step of the podium again. Just got to bring it around turn 4.
Here comes Hale on the bottom, but he's going to run out of time. Checkers out. Bailey gets the win. Oh, at the line. It's Ryan Beagle just barely over Christopher Hale. Logan Schwedick 4th, and Ken Sargent will drive it home to 5th.
Action Expo, Canada's Extreme Action Sports Festival, is back for 2 days of excitement, August 4th and 5th, in conjunction with the Flat Track Canada National Event Weekend. All of the same ramps and street course from last year will be set up, plus more. Come and ride the ramps and hang out in the Jibs Jam Zone. Experience the demonstrations, displays, fenders, inflatables, and more. Throughout the day and into the evening, watch Canada's bravest and best motorcycle racers as they battle elbows up for the Parts Canada Harley-Davidson National Flat Track Championship. Check out some of Ontario's best young micro-sprint and go-kart racers as they get their drift on in the afternoon. Plus, experience the thrill of riding a Harley-Davidson firsthand. Just stop by the Harley-Davidson Demo Ride Roadshow and test drive a brand new Harley-Davidson. The open road is closer than you think. Kids 16 and under $15, adults 17 and over $20. Children 6 and under are free. Tickets available by calling 519-717-0023 or logging on to OshweganSpeedway.com. Don't miss Action Expo August 4th and 5th at Oshwegan Speedway. Be there.
I used to have to go in to the auto parts store. Paid too much, never find quite what I'm looking for. Now I just go online to Rock Auto and see all the parts my car will ever need. Lower prices, more parts, more brands. It's so easy to find the right parts fast. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto. All the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Well, you can hear the late models getting warmed up over in the pit area. I think those are actually the Action Sprint Tour cars, my mistake. The Crate Sprints have been pushed off and are rumbling around, ready to come out for their 20-lap Action Sprint Tour main event, round 6 on the newest tour for sprint cars here in Canada and Ontario. The only crate division out there that goes on tour is our GMC Strickland Crates as part of the Action Sprint Tour presented by RaceRivals.com. So they are warming up over in the pit area, getting set to roll off here. In just a moment, we'll be ready to go.
Well, race fans, here they come. The Action Sprint Tour presented by Race Rivals are onto the racetrack. Before we give the starting lineup, Clint, we've got to give a big congratulations to Darren Shawcross, who works with us here in the tower. He and his girlfriend celebrating the birth of a healthy baby. Darren, you getting much sleep? Like, do you think? No. Get used to it. But congratulations, that's exciting news. And let's give you the starting lineup for the Sprint Car Feature event. Starting on the pole out of Port Colborne, the Pan Abrasive Lakeshore High School number 5D, it's Jacob Dykstra. And on the outside of row number 1 from Delhi, the Case IH Ohsweken Speedway Aero Express number 1 of Holly Porter. Row number 2 on the inside from Ohsweken, the MK8 is Matt Hill. And on the outside, the number 19 at Gore's Landing, the Mayhew Graphics Yorkie's Barbecue number 19 is Brandon Merle. Starting 5th out of Vanessa, the Lucas Oil Oakwood Transportation number 4 is Hannah Farrell. And on her outside out of Scotland, the Acklands Insurance number 87X is Sean Evans. Row 4 on the inside from Ohsweken, the Case IH Rochester Nighthawk 68 is Aaron Turkey. And on the outside of row 4 from St. Thomas, the Best Safety Training and Consulting, number 52 is Jesse Costa. Row 5 on the inside from Hamilton, the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction, number 56 of Derek Lemaire. And on the outside from Binbrook, the Team Turner Racing, number 29 is Liam Martin.
Okay, stop. PDP, stop. Maddie, come out. I need to know why the 12 stopped.
Row 6 on the inside from Niagara Falls, the Pro Battery Shop's Landmark Home Solutions, number 70 is Bailey Hurd. And on the outside from Fonthill, the First Choice Haircutters, Wineland Limited, number 08 is Stephen Beckett. Row 7 on the outside from Waterford, Ohsweken Speedway sponsored number 12 is Brad Heron. And on the outside from London, the Pinewood Horticultural Services number 7 is Caleb Wood. The 1A out of Beamsville, the Schneider Electric J&E Recovery 1A is Paul Klager. And on the outside will be the 9C from Ohsweken, the Canada Fuels Nitro 54 Variety 9C is Brian Nanico. Row 9 on the inside from Beachville, the Wild Sprinting to Grooten Hill, number 5 is DJ Christie. And on the outside from Brantford, the Massage Pro Dittner Tire number 49 is Lucas Smith. The 49H from Hagersville, the Iroquois Hereford Farms number 49H is Jerry Hill. And on the outside of Rockwood, the Radio Shuttle 74 is Rob Neely. 88H, the J&E Recovery Superior Petro Fuels from Beesville is Josh Hansen. And the 69 out of Six Nation is Josh Hill. And your final row on the inside from Stouffville, the Transport Sales and Service Durnan Motors 43H is Ryan Hunsinger. And from Caledonia, the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction number 55 is Mike Thorne. Ladies and gentlemen, the Action Sprint Tour is going 4 wide. Get up on your feet, grab your hats, grab whatever's nearby. Give these drivers a wave. They are going to be waving back. 20 laps is the distance for tonight's Action Sprint Tour feature event. Clayton, now that you've got a microphone, do we get to play it again? I don't want to interrupt your work because you are always diligently working away.
I have to multitask tonight, and I haven't had to do that in a while. I'm trying to do
I
trying
didn't
to
want
talk and do PR stuff at the same time.
And I didn't want to force you. I wanted to ask the question, but
Guys, it's the Dernan Motors Front Row Challenge coming up right now. Jacob Dykstra, he has choice. Does he want to take position number 12 and come back for $500 bonus?
Jacob Dykstra waves no.
He says no.
One, do you want it? Wiggle the car if you want it, yes or no. Both have declined the front row challenge.
Front row challenge will not be accepted tonight.
Dernan Motors will keep his money. Adam will turn up to you in Clayton for the call to race. In 6 events, nobody has taken the Dernan Motors challenge. We might have to jack it up in the last few rounds. Here we go.
Jacob Dykstra on the inside, fresh off a win at Merrittville Speedway. Holly Porter in the 1 car, always quick in this division. They roll onto the throttle out of turn number 4. Green flags waving in the air.
Side by side for the race lead through corners 1 and 2. Holly Porter works the top side to the race lead, down the back straightaway and into corner number 3. All sorts of action all the way through the field as we complete lap number 1.
Brian Nanicoke and Rob Neely get up off the racetrack in 1 and 2. Lucas Smith had some troubles in 3 and 4, but he gathered it in nicely. Out in front, it's Holly Porter with a lead of about 5 car lengths over Jacob Dykstra.
Matt Hill running in the 3rd position, then Brandon Merle in 4th. Hannah Farrell rounding out the top 5 right now. Sean Evans, Liam Martin, Aaron Turkey, Jesse Costa, and Caleb Wood, the top 10 here as we work on lap number 3 in the 20-lap feature for the Action Sprint Tour.
Keep an eye on that white number 29, Liam Martin. He is making some great forward bite off the corners as he drives to the inside of Sean Evans and Hannah Farrell.
Good battle right now for that position. Brandon Merle off the top. That's going to cost him 3 positions. He falls back from 4th to 7th as Hannah Farrell and Sean Evans side by side for the 5th spot. Give the position to Evans. He nearly had Liam Martin too, but had to back out of the throttle there in corner 4.
Liam Martin getting good bite off the corner. Sean Evans able to contest that spot going into the turn, but Martin pulls off the corner very well. Further back in the field, they are racing in packs right now. Jerry Hill in the 49 doing battle with Josh Hansen. They're 3 wide on the front stretch.
All kinds of action there midway through the field. Lucas Smith, Brandon Merle, and Paul Klager side by side there. Merle with the advantage into corner number 4, right up on the top side. The rookie driver not having any issues there as he turns it back underneath. Lucas Smith, man, Adam battles at the front of the field, through the middle, and at the rear.
A little further back, I'm enjoying watching DJ Christie in the number 5. He was doing battle with another youngster, Bailey Hurd, in the 70. Now he's closed in on Derek Lemaire in the 56. They're a little ways out of the top 10, deeper in the field, as Holly Porter is about half a straightaway from approaching lap traffic. And it's Great Sprint legend Ryan Huntsinger who's running at the back of the field. He is the first car that's going to go a lap down.
You mentioned DJ Christie and Derek Lemaire. That is the battle for the 12th position on the speedway. So exactly in the middle of the field right now as Holly Porter gets set to put Ryan Huntsinger 1 lap down. Huntsinger struggling with the handle after he had some problems with the torsion bars in the heat race. And now Porter pulling away from the rest of the field except for Jacob Dykstra. And now Brad Herron around right in front of the race leaders with the caution flag waves here with 9 complete.
Brad Herron and Rob Neely got together down there between 3 and 4 because I saw Rob Neely kind of turn hard to the right to avoid that. Brad Herron was spun sideways. Now remember, Herron came to a stop on the front stretch, and because it was not a safety-related issue, he had to go to the back of the field.
So if you are new to sprint car racing by chance, then the rule is for sprint cars, they get 1 initial push to fire the engine. If they come to a stop after that before the green flag, if it's for a safety concern because their belts come unbuckled or for any other safety-related concern, they can have that car re-pushed and not lose their starting position. If it's for mechanical reasons, you have to go to the rear of the field for requiring a second push to fire the car. That was the case with the Brad Herron number 12. So that was the first dose of bad luck, and now getting turned around in corner number 4. Not obviously how the number 12 machine planned to have this night go.
Guys, we got to report that Brad Herron, it just shut off on the pace lap, so we'll see if he has those type of issues continue. Now he gets on the gas a bit better and looks like it's going to run for him.
Well, it ran well for those 9 laps. I've got a bit of a theory. If you spin out in a sprint car and don't wind up on your wing, it's a pretty decent spin. It's not easy to spin out a sprint car without upsetting it and getting it flopped over, so Brad Heron gets a bit of a second life with 9 laps complete.
Hey, quick question. If we catch eating pizza under caution, is that the equivalent of spinning out for an announcer?
No, I'm eating some of the beef jerky that I bought under the grandstands. It's fantastic, but it takes a little while to get through.
I got to bug you. Holly Porter won her micro sprint race on the Little O last night. Looking for the crate sprint win on the Big O. Here we go, guys.
Jacob Dykstra goes to the top shelf in corners 1 and 2, gets a good run down the back straightaway, coming after Holly Porter for the race lead. Top 2 drivers pulling away from the rest of the field. Dykstra picked up the win last Saturday night at Merrittville Speedway, trying to make it 2 in a row, and now races off of corner number 2 to the race lead just after taking the halfway.
I just watched a sprint car bump draft on the front straightaway. DJ Christie push ball Klager. Klager is headed pit side, and we are side by side for the race lead.
Dykstra now clearing Holly Porter again off of corner number 2, is getting great runs down in corners 1 and 2. Porter a little bit better on the bottom in 3 and 4. Doesn't matter this time though, as Dykstra clicks off lap number 12. Matt Hill 3rd, Sean Evans 4th, and Liam Martin your top 5 at the moment on the speedway.
Great job by Matt Hill tonight, running in that 3rd position, maintaining the spot. Sean Evans just gave a slider to Liam Martin down in 1 and 2. I wasn't sure, sorry, last lap 3 and 4. I wasn't sure if Martin was going to return the favor, but he did not.
The current point leader for the Action Sprint Tour, Jesse Costa, currently running in the 9th spot right now in that number 52 machine. And still Holly Porter trying to track down Jacob Dykstra's number 5D at the front of the field. Sean Evans finding his way up into the 3rd position now as he gets by Matt Hill. Hannah Farrell will follow suit as Hill gets shuffled back to the 5th position. 5 laps to go, and problems. Josh Hill off the pace, gets it back under power though, will stay green.
That was something else. I was just looking at the starting lineup as we are under yellow.
Don't you hate that as an announcer when you say we'll stay green and then the yellow
and
comes
then
out?
they don't.
Happens more often than I'd like to admit.
Lucas Smith started 18th and he has raced his way up to 7th. And this is one of those races where the battles for position have been long and torrid. Like, we've seen packs of racing all through, but we haven't seen anyone really able to break away and charge to the front, with the exception of Lucas Smith in that 49. So 15 laps in the books, 5 laps to go.
So we mentioned that Jacob Dykstra is the most recent winner with the Action Sprint Tour, and for that matter, the most recent winner in crate sprint car competition in the province. Picked up the win last Saturday at Merrittville Speedway. Already has one weekly win with the Strickland's GMC crate sprint cars on Friday nights here at Ohsweken. Obviously following in the footsteps of his father, Dave Dykstra, former 360 sprint car champion here at Ohsweken Speedway, and just finished grade 9 and looks so confident behind the wheel of that 5D car.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I mean, I remember what I was up to just finishing grade 9, and it wasn't winning crate sprint car races,
No.
I can tell you that. Dykstra gets on the loud pedal between 3 and 4. Green flag is in the air, and the field streaks down the front straightaway.
Back to green flag racing as Porter goes to the bottom while Dykstra continues to pound the outside lane. He leads down the back straightaway, but Porter is right there, side by side behind them for the 3rd position. Hannah Farrell had the nose underneath Sean Evans in the 87X.
Liam Martin to the outside of Matt Hill as DJ Christie with a problem on the backstretch lost a whole bunch of spots in that bright yellow number 5, but Sean Evans' car is starting to come to life. He's going to have to get on the loud pedal. There's 3 laps to go.
Liam Martin got up over the cushion. That allowed Aaron Turkey to get by. Lucas Smith thought he had a chance to get into the top 5, but didn't work as Turkey had the momentum up top. They'll go side by side down the back straightaway. That's the battle for 6. 2 to go for Dykstra.
2 to go as the racing is intense all around the speedway. We've got a mad gaggle of cars down in 3 and 4. Jacob Dykstra getting a good run off at turn number 2, and he'll extend that lead over Holly Porter.
Here comes Dykstra off of corner number 4 to the white flag, trying to make it 2 in a row. Little stutter step to the outside there off of corner number 4. He takes it back to the top side and turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Final time through corners 3 and 4. He goes to the bottom this time. It's not going to matter. Checkered flag waves make it 2 in a row for Jacob Dykstra. Holly Porter second, Sean Evans third, Hannah Farrell will finish 4th. 5th spot goes to Aaron Turkey. Lucas Smith, Matt Hill, Jesse Costa, Derek Lemaire, and Liam Martin round out the top 10.
Trouble on the front stretch. Wow, Brad Heron, this is your lucky night. When you clip a car that hard, come to a slide at the end of the front straightaway, miss the concrete wall, that could have been something.
And the top wing collapsed down on the number 12 machine there as he came to stop on the front stretch. And like you said, Adam, just narrowly missing that concrete wall. But how about Jacob Dykstra, the 9th grader, makes it 2 wins in a row with the Action Sprint Tour here in 2018. 6 races, 3 different winners. He becomes the 3rd driver to win multiple races here in 2018. Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky here as the drivers from the Action Sprint Tour, powered by RaceRivals.com, head down to Lucas Oil Victory Lane. And track photographer Dale Callan from Image Factor Media handing Jacob Dykstra the Lucas Oil checkered flag and getting set for him to climb up top. We'll send things downstairs to Clinton Jeffrey.
Clinton Jeffrey making his way over to Victory Lane as Dale Callan coordinates.
Well, here comes out of the 5D, the Lakeshore Catholics High School machine for Jacob Dykstra. Jacob, what a run for you. This is 3 feature wins on the season. Pretty sweet change from about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, from a month ago we were running mid-pack, and now we're up here on Victory Lane. It's quite exciting.
Who do you want to thank for this awesome run, and what's got this car running so good lately?
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Panda Braces, Tim's Lawn Care, A to Z Expediting, Lakeshore Catholic High School, and I wouldn't be here without my dad. He's been the biggest help.
He gets it done. Jacob Dykstra picks up the Action Sprint Tour feature win tonight, his 2nd on the season. Back-to-back feature wins. Holly, we were talking about your win last night in the Little O, trying to go for one here tonight. Jacob got you, but still a solid run as you battle for the point championship again this year.
Yeah, we had a great night. Too bad we couldn't finish, just one more ahead, but Jake ran great.
Anybody you want to thank for a good run here tonight, Holly?
Yeah, I got to thank Oshwegan Speedway, the whole Steyrs crew, Three Bridges Automotive, Tommy's Motors, Stonehouse, and Aero Express.
There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Holly Porter getting it done. We'll get over here and talk to Sean Evans. Sean, seems like you've been in this step a few times lately, but as long as you're here on the concrete and not parking it back there, still a solid finish to your evening.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be too upset with 3rd, so I'd like to get in the top 2, but hey, we did it last week, so as long as we're on the concrete every week and everything's still good in one piece, I'm happy. So I'd like to thank my sponsors, Ackland Insurance, Miles and Pam, Town Line Variety, Bobcat of Brantford, Total Rentals, Tate's fans. Thanks, guys, for coming out.
All right, thanks, Sean. Good job here. Thank you, Sean Evans. Good, solid run for him. And how about a hand, ladies and gentlemen, for our top 3? Jacob Dykstra, Holly Porter, and Sean Evans in round 6 here in the Action Sprint Tour presented by RaceRivals.com. Next up, it's the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock feature.
Here's how they're going to line up for a Thunderstock main event for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. On the pole in the number 88 out of Caledonia, the Club 54 sponsored entry is Ryan Dinning. On the outside of row number 1 from Thorold, the Too Cool Automotive Beansville Fish and Chips number 11 is Go Fast People. Row 2 on the inside, he was upside down last week out of Harley. The 37H is Rob Hoskins, and on the outside, the 24 out of Hagersville, the Nitro 54, Kendall Motor Oil Machine of Blake Bomberry Jr. Row 3 on the inside, from Thorold, the 108 is Billy Bleach Jr., and on the outside out of Hamilton, the Club 54, Pro Fabrication number 25 of Ken Sargent. Starting 7th out of Keister Center, the DNS Automotive number 28 is Jim Lampman, and on his outside, the 53 out of Jerseyville, the Advantage Electric sponsored machine of Logan Schwedick. Row 5 on the inside from Brantford, the Strickland's GMC Classic Party Rentals number 1 is Chris Dickey, and alongside him out of Vittoria will be the RK Automotive number 84 RK of Ryan Beagle. Row 6 on the inside from Caledonia, the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction number 21X is Mark Bazine. And on the outside from Guelph, the McColeman Media, Stony Creek Transmission number 79 is Christopher Hale. Row 7 on the inside from Caledonia, car number 2 is Lee Winger, and on the outside from Cookstown, the Amsoil California Daves number 63 of Brandon Crumby. Row 8 on the inside from Hagersville, the Timson Auto Value Mac Tools number 23 is Trevor DeBoer. And on the outside from Mount Hope, the Green Line Enterprise Got Concrete number 77 is Brett Rodwell. Row 9 on the inside, the Sean McCready Trucking Wicks Filters number 11R from Port Colborne is Bryce Richardson. And on the outside from Hagersville, the Jibs Action Sports Window Works number 49 is Dave Bailey. Row number 10, a couple of visitors. The 76 is Jeff Drummond, and on his outside, it'll be the 6R of Jeff Rulifs. Starting 21st in the DNS Automotive, number 28D out of Keister Center, it's Donnie Lampman, and on the outside of the 11th row from Hagersville, the Highland Tire Club 54 Tobacco, number 7 of Jason Longaro. Starting 23rd in the number 74, it's Steve Vanderstan. And on the outside from Simcoe, the Extreme Liners, Expert Auto Clinic, A1 Car Care, number 4 of Aaron Rowitzki. Starting 25th in the 4H, it's Pat Lajeunesse. Starting 26th out of Dundas, the Shed in a Day, number 13 of Bobby Mercer. Your final row on the inside from Hagersville, the 3C of Devin Bacher. And on the outside from Six Nations, the Miller Electric, number 93 of Melissa Miller. That's how they're scheduled to line up for the Thunderstock feature event. "20 laps is the distance for the Thunderstock division. What a field of cars each and every week here at the Big O for these Thunderstocks. And we are set to go green. Kyle McKenzie waves the greens out of turn number 4. Ryan Dinning driving a different car than we're used to seeing him as they go 3 wide, 4 wide through turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Big run by Billy Bleach in the 108.
I'm not even sure if I can tell who the top 5 are right now, Adam, as about 10 cars are battling for position, all 3 wide there through the opening couple of corners, but it is the number 88 of Ryan Dinning who led there initially. It goes backwards though, and Bill Bleach Jr. leads down the back straightaway, and Christopher Hale had a great heat race run up to second.
Man, oh man, Ryan Beagle and Ryan Dinning side by side through 3 and 4 making contact. Dinning is going backwards in a hurry as Ryan Beagle gets in the back of Mark Bazine on the front straightaway, and we've got a battle for the lead.
They were legitimately 5 wide off of corner number 4 and again through turn number 2. Off the track there, the number 11, I believe that is Go Fast People heading to the pit area as Bill Bleach Jr. continues to lead here on lap number 3 as Ken Sargent and Christopher Hale go side by side for second.
Great battle at the front of the field. Dave Bailey deeper in the 49 machine. Always the one to watch trying to come through the pack. He has not made his way into the top 10 just yet. Hasn't made a whole lot of progress at all so far. Wow, Rob Hoskins and Blake Bombury kicking it sideways out of turn number 4. Unbelievable racing here tonight.
Almost seems like Bailey might be biding his time at him as everybody was so frantic there off the initial start and battling 3 and 4 wide. Bailey preferred to just be right there around the bottom the opening couple of laps, and now he's got it wound up on the top side, see where he can go. But there are a lot of good race cars ahead of the number 49 machine, including the top 4 cars who have broken away by a couple of car lengths now.
Contact between Crumby and the 21X of Mark Bazine. Dave Bailey drives to the inside to make a move. Rob Hoskins gets all sorts of loose in turn 4, right in front of Jim Lampman.
Now Christopher Hale pressuring the race leader, Bill Bleach Jr. down the back straightaway. Hale to the inside, Bleach up to the top in corners 3 and 4. Bleach doing a good job to run down the hill there at the exit of turn number 4. He will continue to lead now. 7 laps in the books. Ken Sargent third, Blake Bombury Jr. is fourth, and Rob Hoskins rounding out the top 5 so far as Trevor DeVore looks to make his way into the top 5.
Unbelievable racetrack tonight. It is wide and smooth. Bill Bleach up on the outside. Christopher Hale down low. Gets a great run out of turn number 4. He's about 2 car lengths behind the race leader as they drive down into 1.
DeBoer getting by Hoskins now for that 5th position right now. They're 3 wide for 7th. Ryan Beagle, Logan Schwedek, and Jim Lampman all battling door to door and wheel to wheel down the back straightaway and into corner 3.
9 laps complete this time, nearly halfway through this Thunderstock feature event. The front 4 have streaked away from the 23 of Trevor DeBoer. Although DeBoer working his way through the field, but the front 4 with an advantage of nearly half a straightaway.
Good run going for those drivers. They run single file. Now Christopher Hale within striking distance, half a car length as they raced into corner number 1. Now he's got the inside of Bill Bleach, tried to slide up in front of him. That'll cost him a little bit of momentum, but he stays within a bumper length here into turn number 3. Adam, they go wheel to wheel again. Hale trying to find a slide job, and now caution flags going to wave as Brett Rodwell turned around on the front straightaway, and so is Pat Lajeunesse.
A yellow flag flies, problems for the Lajeunesse machine on the front straightaway. Bill Bleach leading the way as Brett Rodwell peels off into the pits in that number 77.
So a little bit of steam coming out of from under the hood of the Lajeunesse 4H machine. Looks like he'll require some assistance to get back to the pit area, and we touched on it a little bit there under green flag conditions. Adam, just furious action throughout the entire field. The top 4 got broken away there a little bit, single file, but everybody from there on back was side by side and tooth and nail for every spot they could get.
That's what this division produces, week in and week out. Fantastic racing. Things haven't been perfect this season at the Speedway, but by and large, these teams persevere and they come out week in and week out and put on one heck of a show.
Not only do they race well and put on a fantastic show, as you mentioned, but there are a lot of fantastically prepared, very pretty race cars in this division, and it seems like year after year the drivers continually push each other, and somebody's always trying to one-up somebody with a better paint scheme, and it really shows here on the racetrack tonight with so many really impressively designed Thunderstocks.
That's for sure, as the Baron Roofing number 108 of Bill Bleach out in front. And he's had some tough luck this season and been very vocal about it on social media. Racing's a cruel sport. It's going to kick you sometimes, so.
You don't stay at the top of the pile for very long.
Not for very long.
Unless your name's Steve Kinzer or Donnie Schatz.
They had fairly good runs, those two. I've heard of them.
Relatively decent careers.
Oh, there's some bits and pieces missing off the 4H. How about a round of applause for a driver who traveled a long way tonight to come and race with us? Pat Lajeunesse.
Regular down at the South Buxton Raceway, I believe.
And I would imagine they've got a race to run tomorrow night, so that's going to be a long night for that crew if they get that car back together.
And likely an early morning as well.
Yeah, not a lot of sleep. It's a long weekend. They can sleep Sunday and Monday.
So Bill Bleach Jr. choosing the outside lane for this restart. Gives Christopher Hale the bottom with the green flag in the hand of starter Kyle McKenzie. Ken Sargent, Blake Bomberry Jr. right behind them for this restart. Green flag back out. We're underway.
Still side by side through turns 1 and 2. They stay door to door off the corner, down the back straightaway. Hale on the inside, in that yellow and black 79. Bill Bleach up on the high side as Crumby goes off the outside of the racetrack between 3 and 4.
They were 3 wide for third there momentarily as Ryan Beagle went to the bottom side of the racetrack trying to get underneath both Ken Sargent and Blake Bomberry Jr. Hale had the lead for a moment, but the caution flag waving now as Crumby has come to a rest at the top of turn number 4.
So Crumby, who knew he had some sort of a problem up there, came to rest between the corners.
A few laps ago, we were discussing how Dave Bailey hadn't made much progress, and he's gone from the 18th starting spot and has now found his way to 7th with 9 laps remaining, so he's there.
That just doesn't impress me, Clayton. It's Dave Bailey.
He should be
If he goes from 17th to 1st in 2 laps, that's impressive for Dave Bailey.
This is just your run-of-the-mill feature.
You know who I watched do that so many nights down at Merrittville was Pete Bicknell. Pete Bicknell didn't always charge through the field right away to the lead. Like, till the halfway point, you really wouldn't see him having moved that far from his handicap spot back 16th or 18th. And then as laps wind down, he just start picking him off. So I guess we could say the same thing of Dave Bailey in that 49. Only lap 20 it counts.
There's guys in racing that quietly make their way to the front of the field, the same way some hockey players, you look at the box score at the end of the night and all of a sudden they've got 3 points and you didn't even notice them on the ice.
Yep. 1 more to go. Christopher Hale and Billy Bleach again going to lead the field to the green flag.
I'm sorry for the hockey reference. Hockey season started for me this past Wednesday, so.
It's okay. You know what? The occasional hockey reference is fun. I do get to a point where I'm hockeyed out. Like, let's spend some time enjoying, baseball, which we can't enjoy this year because the Blue Jays are awful. But I digress. Christopher Hale stands on the gas, so does Billy Bleach. They'll race down the front straightaway. We're back underway with 9 laps to go.
Good race into corners 1 and 2. Hale with the advantage up top. Bleach turning it back underneath him with Kent Sargent in the way as well. Side by side again into corner number 3. Christopher Hale has the lead by a nose. They race off of corner number 4. Give the point to the 79 machine.
Christopher Hale changed his line just a little bit there. He kept Billy Bleach pinned down the best he could, and it paid off coming off of turn number 4 as he's got an advantage of a car length and a half. Whoa, trouble in turn 2. Rob Hoskins goes around.
He tags the blocks at the bottom of corner number 2 there. He's stopped right now at the bottom of the speedway, and caution flag going to wave here with lap number 12 completed.
And Rob Hoskins, one of the most pleasant people. He comes into Grisdale Racing Products, and I work there in the truck side. And he's got an armful of parts because last week was an expensive week, but still a big smile on his face because he's going to come out and race the next Friday night.
Well, Rob Hoskins down here, guys. It looked like he had a broken tie rod, but he was able to drive out of it. No issue here. So he will take it back to the pit area.
Was in a bit of a precarious spot there down at the bottom of the speedway, perhaps.
Well, whenever you're facing the wrong way, that's a tough spot to go.
Yeah, wouldn't be my first choice, that's for sure. So Bill Bleach Jr. chose the outside lane for the last 2 restarts. It looks like Christopher Hale is going to prefer that bottom lane, which is interesting because he took the lead on the outside by switching lanes with Bleach there into corner 1 and 2, and then again through 3 and 4. So interesting restart shaping up here for the number 79 machine, and to my knowledge, Hale does not have a feature win here in Thunderstock competition.
Yeah, I believe you're right. The other thing I noticed on that restart, he fired as early as you're going to get away with firing. He fired in turn 3 basically last time. So you can see he's kind of changing things up a little bit, trying to keep Billy Bleach on the defense, really. You got to keep them surprised. We'll see what he chooses to do this time.
Continue to see that trend in this division with the drivers really trying to diamond that corner off and run down the hill from the middle of the corner on the restart. We changed the banking a little bit throughout the offseason, and definitely a bit more of a hill to run down through the corners. And there you go again, Adam, a big early restart there for Christopher Hale, but Bill Bleach Jr. stays right with them as the green flag waves. 8 laps to go.
Yeah, no surprise there as Christopher Hale gets on the loud pedal and drives away. Bill Bleach on the outside now will drive up the inside of the race leader down the back straightaway.
Wheel to wheel, door to door, fender to fender into corner number 3. Bleach on the bottom, Hale on the top. Looked like Bleach had the advantage, but Hale coming back with the momentum on the top side. Maintains the lead by half a car length at the start-finish line, and now less than 7 laps to go.
And the front end washed up the racetrack in 3 and 4. I can't believe that run he got last time. Let's see if he hits the corner a little bit better. Yeah, he gets the car to rotate a little better there through 3 and 4. And here comes Dave Bailey into the top 5.
Bailey working on the inside of Blake Bomberry Jr.'s 24 machine. Trying to wrestle a top 5 position away. Ryan Beagle right there in the 84 RK, but it's still side by side for the race lead.
5 laps to go this time. 15 laps complete. 5 laps remain as the top 7 cars, 8 cars right together on the front straightaway. From Christopher Hale in the 79 all the way back to the 23 of Trevor DeBoer as they've opened up on the Jim Lampman number 28.
Here's Beagle in the 84 machine to the outside of Ken Sargent, and around to the top of turn number 2, the 4 of Aaron Rowitsky paused at the outside of corner number 2. Caution will wave again. With 16 laps in the books, we'll get another restart, and that caution likely not one Christopher Hale wanted to see, as he had gotten away from Billy Bleach Jr. by a couple of car lengths.
He can't start any earlier than he has the last 2 restarts.
No.
So he's got to find a new trick. An uncharacteristic number of yellow flags in this race, but they've all been fairly innocent. Just a car stopping on the track or an innocent spin.
It's not uncommon for this Thunderstock division to go caution-free in a feature race. So to have, I think, 4 of them in a feature, not, as you said, particularly usual for this division.
Lee Winger in the 2 heading into the pits. So one of our race winners from this season having problems here tonight.
Don't forget, we're back in action with the Flat Track Canada Motorcycle Series tomorrow and Sunday, along with Action Expo here at the Speedway. Gates will open at 12 noon for fans, so you can stop by 12 noon till 10 p.m. tomorrow and 12 till 8 on Sunday. Check out all the action with Action Expo. If you've got a scooter or a BMX bike, you can come out and ride all the ramps over in the pit side. We've got the Cool Kids Ice and Water Micro Sprints, and of course the Flat Track Canada Motorcycle Series as well on the full 3/8 oval tomorrow, and then that TT course through the infield on Sunday as we get set to come back to green with the Thunderstocks. Christopher Hale with another good restart.
So Hale with the advantage down into 1 and 2. Bill Bleach goes into 1 on the outside and got real loose there in turn number 2, lost some momentum, and here comes Ryan Beagle to apply the pressure for the 2nd spot.
Beagle got a good restart, Bleach didn't, and now the 84 machine takes the nose to the inside of the 108 with 3 laps to go. Christopher Hale, meanwhile, trying to get his first career feature win in the number 79 machine. He's got a 5-car length advantage over Bleach down the back chute.
Bleach is not going to quit, that's for sure, in the 108, trying to fire back, but Ryan Beagle getting up beside him. That's going to affect his momentum as we've got 2 laps to go.
Yeah, twin sticks from starter Kyle McKenzie here as they rumble through corners 1 and 2. Again, Hale doing a good job to hit his marks, the same line through both ends of the racetrack here the last couple of times around the speedway in the number 79 machine. 3 cars battling for 4th. Dave Bladley, Ken Sargent, and Trevor DeBoer. The white flag waves.
Yeah, Dave Bailey and Kenny Sargent getting a real physical out there on the racetrack. One more lap around for Christopher Hale, trying to pick up his first checkered flag as they duke it out side by side for second.
Hale comfortably has an advantage through the final 2 corners. Beagle slides up in front of Bleach for the second spot. Double checkers in the air. Christopher Hale goes to victory lane for the first time. Ryan Beagle steals second from Bill Bleach Jr. Dave Bailey 4th. And Ken Sargent, your top 5. Wow, what a finish.
Great race. This Thunderstock feature event.
A couple drivers pulling up alongside Christopher Hale to congratulate him on the victory here. And we'll get set to head down trackside to Lucas Oil Victory Lane with our Clinton Jeffrey.
And it usually is a one-finger salute. It's either a thumb or a finger, and you got to look real close to see. But I think those were all congratulations that Christopher Hale was getting. Clinton Jeffrey will be the first to know as he walks over to Lucas Oil Victory Lane to greet our winners.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's out of the car now in his first ever visit to Victory Lane in anything. How about it for Chris Hale? Chris, I've seen you run a few spots this year in some of the other announcing and tour that I've done. We talk about how you're using these other tracks to be better here. It's proven every week you're getting quicker. Tonight you're here in Lucas Oil Victory Lane. Talk about how barnstorming around the province a bit has helped you get here tonight.
Oh, I think it gives you a good opportunity to try some different setups and just try against different competitors. There's a lot of other good racers out there, and they just make you better if you're racing against them.
Talk about what it means to be here in Lucas Oil Victory Lane at Ushweekend.
Oh, it means a lot. This is my second season in Thunderstock, and I just got to thank like my dad. He comes out, he travels from Napanee, so the crew, so I'm happy he comes out and works on this car throughout the week sometimes. So. And I just got to say thanks to a lot of my sponsors, Draper's Doors, Parson Associates, Prax Air, and anyone who comes out and helps me.
How about his first time to victory, ladies and gentlemen? Make some noise for Christopher Hale. Well, Ryan, anytime you can end up here on the concrete is a solid end to your Friday nights. Let's talk about how close you were in that one. You weren't really that close, but you're still solidly in the top 3.
Yeah, I think that's 4. I think it's 4 seconds now this year. We'll get one eventually. We're getting close every week, so we're having a blast too, so that's all that matters.
Just think Matt Newell in the mini stock faced this fate many times, and he got his tonight. Yours is coming, Ryan.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so.
How about it for Ryan Beagle? He grabs second. We'll get over here and have a word with Bill Bleach Jr. Billy, another solid run for you here tonight. You're in that battle. Talk about your drive tonight here to third.
I had a good car until, a lot of contact on the back straightaway with the 79, and I got way too much tow, so I was just trying to hang on with what I got. But the way they run you is the way I'm going to run them.
There you have him, Bill Bleach. How about him for your top 3? Christopher Hale, Ryan Beagle, and Bill Bleach Jr.
Well, that'll be on Facebook before long, I'd imagine.
I love you, Adam Ross.
Well, come on. You finished third. You had a good race. Last week the track got him, and then a safety truck got him. He got beat, Clint.
Eat your pizza.
I should be quiet. Like, there's times when you're just better off to say nothing, but when someone comes on and says all terrible things about a racetrack and the people that work at a racetrack, and then do get a good finish, and then come on and complain some more.
You're not a fan.
Oh, I'm a fan. I love people. You got to have different opinions. You got to have different things to say. It's just, even Dale Earnhardt was cheery some days.
We are set to go with our 20-lap late model open feature. Here is how they will line up for the 20-lap main event. Starting on the pole at a Sharing Cross Ontario, the South Buxton Raceway, Boss RV Center, number 18R of Chris Ross. Starting second out of Chatham, Ontario, the Performance Fiberglass, Blazing Barbecue, Loop Tech, Wallace Racing Products, RH21 of Greg Haskell. Rolling off third out of Blenheim, Ontario, the Westside Performance Plus, Matco Tools, number 88 of Andrew Rayo. And going off fourth at a Gasline, Ontario, the Bob Pitts Heating and Air Conditioning, Dow Auto Supplies, Port Colborne Thruway, number 69 of Rob Pitts. Lining up fifth at Orono, Ontario, the Full Circle Automation, Arcade Pools, J&M Restoration and Collision, number 98 is Craig Graham. And starting sixth at a Ridgeway, Ontario, the Bills Toyota Fort Erie, PC Roofing, number 82 is Ken Winfield. The seventh starter at a Rodney, Ontario, the Mansell Excavating, Magnum Signs, O'Leary Brothers Roofing, number 53 of Brad Simpson. And lining up eighth at a Chatham, Ontario, the Constantino's Pizza, Main Street Barbershop, Gearheads, number 4 of CJ Field. Tonight's ninth starter out of Ridgetown, Ontario, the One Stop Auto Parts, TPI Enterprises, number 60 of Dale Glassford. The 10th starter out of Chatham, Ontario, the Gearhead Shop, Praxair, Robinson Motorcycles, number 1A of Brad Othier. The 11th starter out of Wallaceburg, Ontario, the Mike's Delivery and Assembly, number 05 of Mike Lewis. Tonight's 12th starter and card number 11B is Brad Bloomfield. And lining up 13th out of Thamesville, Ontario, the Master Feeds, number 20 of Dwayne Malott. Starting from the 14th spot in car number 38D at Essex, Ontario, the Quicks Towing, Condom Transmission, Williams Financial, sponsored by of Doris Lajeunesse. Lining up in the 15th position in car RH94 out of Ridgetown, Ontario, the DR Construction, Deerbrook Realty, sponsored ride of Jason Haskell. To his outside, from Shrewsbury, Ontario, the Redneck Garage, RPM Decals, 00D is Jim Dale Jr. Lining up in the 17th starting spot at Chatham, Ontario, the Jim Dale Garage, 00 is Mike Dale. Lining up in the 18th spot in car number 03M at Tupperville, Ontario, the Boss RV Center sponsored ride of Tim McKenzie. Starting 19th in car number 19D at Sarnia, Ontario, the Bridgeview Restorations car of Don Douglas. 20th starter tonight at Leamington, Ontario, the Southwest Diesel Service SMR Engines, number 70 of Brandon Windsor. The 911 is Jay Liverance. The 28K is Tate O'Leary. The number 11 is Brad McLeod, and the 52 is Rick Cedar, getting set to go green off of corner number 4. 24 cars for 20 laps, and the late model opens, the only appearance for late model racing at Ohsweken Speedway in 2018, and it is underway. No stranger to this racetrack is Rob Pitts, and he is not shy on the start. They're 4 wide off of corner number 2 for the race lead. Craig Haskell through the middle. He'll take the point through corners 3 and 4. The RH21 will lead lap number 1.
These cars are absolute beasts. You see them jump on the gas. The cars lurch every which way, clean and green in the early going in this late model feature, with Rob Pitts digging hard, trying to take over that Tech second position.
Chris Ross in the 18R has been the class of the field so far tonight, running in the second spot, but Pitsy coming after him in that 69 machine, the crate motor car on the bottom side of the speedway, and Chris Ross in that super late model up on the top has that car wound up, and these cars seem to be liking that outside lane with the big motor.
Well, and as the track slicks up, these crate motors are going to become more and more competitive as they have harder and harder time getting the power down.
So early, it is the RH21 of Greg Haskell out in front of the field. 4 laps in the books as he crosses underneath the flag stand of starter Kyle McKenzie. Chris Ross in the second spot. Rob Pitts third. Andrew Rayom is fourth in the number 88 machine. Behind him, it's the 98 of Craig Graham. Side by side for that 6th spot momentarily, there was Ken Winfield and CJ Field. Winfield now to the inside of Craig Graham, shows him the nose, can't get it done in corner number 3.
Trouble down the inside of the front straightaway, but that car is spun out of harm's way out of turn 4, so we got one slow off the racetrack. But what a battle for second, third, and fourth. Rob Pitts with that position down into 3 and 4. Chris Ross, all sorts of horsepower in the 3rd spot, and that Rayom in the 88 as they have to check up for the car coming out of the infield.
More smoke out from under the hood of the 28K of Tate O'Leary. The 00 of Mike Dale was off the pace a little bit in front of the race leaders, just as they were racing around the slower car of Don Douglas as well. But Rob Pitts into the 2nd spot, Chris Ross 3rd, Andrew Rayom 4th, and running 5th at the moment, the 82 of Ken Winfield. Is a couple of cars struggling to get around the slower Dale 00 machine.
And I believe that was that CJ Field in the 4 that just passed about 3 cars on the front straightaway there?
Look that way.
With so much lap traffic and unfamiliar race cars, trying to figure out who's who and who's running where, but man, CJ Field had a great run there. And this is the longest I've seen a green flag run with late models on this racetrack, because people have a hard time getting hooked up from time to time, but boy, oh boy, there's action everywhere.
There's not too many tracks where late models race, at least in this area where there's this much space, so it's almost like they think they have all the room in the world at times, and that's not necessarily the case as the cross flags come out for Greg Haskell, who's heavy into lap traffic here on lap number 10. But Rob Pitts only a few car lengths back as Haskell continues to work high and low to get by the slower traffic.
Rob Pitts definitely keeping him honest as Haskell looking to squeeze his way through a couple of slower cars out of turn 4. Down through 1 and 2, Haskell back up to the outside. Rob Pitts on the bottom of the racetrack. 2 lap cars between the leader and second place as he works through 3 and 4. But there is heavy lap traffic ahead.
Pitts has not really wavered from that bottom line as his preferred path around the speedway in that 69 machine. Has gone to the top when he's had to, but clearly prefers to be around the bottom, take the short way in that Crate Motor car. Obviously is aware that he's underpowered compared to Haskell's RH21 machine, and this time he's going to have to go to the bottom. And right on the back bumper, the Doris Lajeunesse number 38 machine was Pitts there going into corner number 1. That could have ended badly.
And I think you're exactly right about him. He will always go to the bottom if that's an option, just knowing the horsepower difference. As I say that, he drifts up the racetrack right across the bumper of the 88 of Rayome.
Little contact there in corner number 4, but everybody kept it straight. Rayome trying to keep that car wound up on the top side. He looked awfully good in his qualifying heat races. He ran away, and Rayome up into the wall there as he got pushed up and pinched by the slower car of Doris Lajeunesse, who got out of shape on the back straightaway.
Yeah, that could have been a whole lot worse for Andrew Rayome as he is back behind Chris Ross' machine.
Rayome almost had an ugly first encounter with those hay bales up in corner number 3, and now a little bit of clear space for the RH21 of Greg Haskell and the 69 of Rob Pitts with 4 laps to go. They've got about 15 car lengths until the next lap car, which would be the 00 of Jim Dale Jr.
Last time around, Rob Pitts was a couple of tenths of a second faster than the race leader. Let's see if he can keep up that pace as the laps wind down.
So we continue to click off laps here. Less than 3 to go as Haskell works down the back straightaway to the outside of the Jay Liverance 911 machine. He'll see 2 laps to go this time by as Kyle McKenzie gives him the rabbit ears off the starter stand.
Rob Pitts changes his lineup, heads towards the outside. Now we'll go back to the bottom of the racetrack to go under Jay Liverance. White flag will be displayed this time at a turn number 4 for Haskell.
Pitts back to the bottom in corners 3 and 4, appeared to gain some ground that time as the white flag waves for Greg Haskell, the RH21, trying to pick up a late model open win here as he races off of corner number 4 in this 21 machine.
Rob Pitts is closing in, one more opportunity and the yellow flag flies.
The 19 machine of Don Douglas around and caution coming out, and oh my.
Rob Pitts, that he closed so much ground on that final lap.
Guys, just so we're clear on how this is going to work, at the driver's meeting, lap cars will pull to the bottom. They will drag their feet. Lead lap cars will come to the front. The first car 1 lap down will get an easy pass and be put back on the tail end of the lead lap. Doug Leonard will let you know who that is in a moment. Now, Adam and Clayton, if you're Rob Pitts, you know you have brought a knife to a gunfight. What can you do? You've used all your experience here at Osh Weekend to put yourself in a position to steal this one away from Greg Haskell. What's your move, Adam, going back to green?
Well, I think the only move is to run the bottom, but Clint, the last few laps, Rob Pitts was a little bit faster. In open racetrack, Pitsy was a tenth or 2 faster than Haskell in the race lead.
I'm not sure if it paid off for him, but the time when he pitched it to the outside there of the 911 of Liverance and then crossed it back under and came straight diamond that one from the middle of 1, I'm sure he got a good bite. You got to remember, it's slick up there. On the top side, Haskell's going to need the bite. He's going to have more trouble getting the power down than Rob Pitts will. But Pitts, he's got to be careful here because it won't take much for Rayom or Ross to use their power to come back around the outside. We saw it in the qualifiers.
I don't think Pitsy can afford to go into the corner high, because just by driving into the corner high, someone with a ton of horsepower could fill that hole on the bottom and kind of ruin your opportunity.
So we're in full catfish mode. Sucking the bottom. Is that what we're doing?
I would.
Want to send a shout to Greg Callan. Not sure if he's watching out in the campsite. He's camping, right, Pops? Greg's off camping tonight. Is he happy about that? His dad's shaking his head quietly. Greg loves sleeping in a tent about as much as Adam loves sleeping in a tent.
He posted a picture of him and McLean in a kayak. I'm just curious whether they were able to paddle that thing back to the dock.
Oh, I think
I bet they were paddling for Oshweekend, them two. They'd rather be here on a Friday night.
Good for Greg. Well, when you work from home and you work at a computer, you are never far from the office. So that's why Greg likes camping. It's got nothing to do with tents. It's got everything to do with the fact that his computer is not there.
And guys like me can't drive him crazy saying, hey, I need all this stuff last minute. He's like, I'll be back next week.
I'm pretty sure Greg's favorite form of camping involves a room key.
I have no problem with that. All right, race fans, the late model restarts. The leader has his own lane. Everybody else is doubled up, and I really don't think this hurts.
I just want to mention one thing that we talked about the drivers meeting, Adam. The driver in second place got to choose inside or outside. That was the only one. Leader in the middle, second place gets to choose, so Rob Pitts has clearly, as you said, taken the bottom.
I think no matter who you are in the top three, you're starting. Well, obviously Haskell's glad to be in his own row, but Pitsy wants to be on the inside, and I would think Rayom would want to be on the outside to try to get that power wound up, get up on whatever kind of cushion he can find, and put the hammer down.
That's where Rayom's been all night. That's how he won his heat race. Obviously, there was more tack in the racetrack then, but that seems to be where he's been throughout this feature here. So it's a one-lap dash. Green flag, white flag at the same time from starter Kyle McKenzie. Haskell right to the top shelf. We'll see if Pitts can turn it underneath him. And we are back underway.
Wow, a great drive for Rob Pitts out of turn number 4. He draws up even with Haskell going into 1.
Right to the bottom side off of corner number 2. He's ahead by just a little bit, but Haskell powering around him down the back straightaway. Final time through corners 3 and 4.
Rob Pitts, can he move a slide job up to the outside? Rob Pitts gonna take the win. Hand in the air, he loops it down into turn 1. Oh, don't destroy your race car, Rob. What a finish. What a welcome back, Rob Pitts. That might have been premature celebration that we saw.
One hand out the window, and that results in looping it around, but it doesn't matter. He's going home with the checkered flag. How about that finish, race fans? Rob Pitts going to victory lane. Wow.
That was something else.
He did not give Greg Haskell any chance to bring that car up against the wall and use that momentum. He took it all away.
Clint, had Rob Pitts won here in a late model before?
I don't believe so.
Because he's won in a sportsman car. Did he get a win in a sprint car? No, I'm not sure that he did get a win in a sprint car. But Rob Pitts has competed in just about every premier division we have here at Oshweekend Speedway.
He does not have a win in a late model here. Andrew Rayom, however, does have 2. Falls a couple spots short here tonight.
Can you have a quick look if Pitts has won in a sprint car?
I'll have a look. No.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more mini stock feature to go. We will let the Lone Wolf fireworks light up the sky here for the late models. How about it, fans? Did you like the late model race tonight? He is coming out of the Bob Pitts Heating and Cooling number 69 Bass Farm Storage Machine. How about it for Rob Pitts? Well, Rob, you've been to victory lane many times in the Sportsman in the days back of the past here. First time to Lucas Oil Victory Lane at Osh Weekend. Let me be the first one to give you the memo. You're not supposed to win this race with a crate car. Did you know that?
That's what we keep telling ourselves, and especially with Rahum here. I mean, there's some top shelf drivers here. I think the track slicked off just a little bit that made the little motor go.
Let's talk about that drive. We were jockeying on the mics about what your move was going to be. You played it exactly like Adam called it. Stick the bottom, get a good start, and make them chase you down the back straightaway. Talk about that last lap and the crazy finish here, crowding them up to get the finish.
Yeah, once I got him out of the back chute, we weren't friends anymore. I had to take as much of that track as I could away from him, because I knew once he gets the horsepower going again, I was in trouble. But no, this track is amazing. It has always been amazing. Glenn and the guys, they just give us a beautiful racetrack here, and it's so good to be back.
Who you want to thank, Robbie?
Oh, I want to thank, first of all, I say it all the time, my crew. These guys slug their guts out for this car all the time. Ed Carley for all the advice he gives us, shocks, tires, and of course sponsors. Bob Pitts Heating, Jake Bass Farm Storage. We have Thruway Muffler. We have Mike Knapp Ford. New with us this year, Sterling Lubricants, Steve Sterling. I'm probably missing, so much people. Howard Schramm, he has had my back for probably 30 years now racing. And he wasn't here tonight, so he's going to be a little upset. But and of course the fans that keep coming out and paying to watch us.
Good job, Robbie. How about it for Rob Pitts, ladies and gentlemen? Reach in here. We're going to give away 50-50. The amount, $1,470. Reach in there. Grab out a winner, Rob. We'll get your Victory Lane ceremonies going. $1,470. Ticket number.
Oh, you want me to read that?
Yeah, I'm not reading it. You got it upside down for one. You need your glasses? Yes, I do. 269-406. 269-406. They can read that out for me just to make sure.
269-406.
Thank you. There you got your winning number. We'll get over here and talk to Greg Haskell. Well, Greg, thanks so much for coming to Osh Weekend tonight. You were definitely in the battle all night long. He got you at the end of this one. Talk about your night for us.
Well, I guess the last lap caution there really hurt. I was hoping the checker was coming out. I knew the right rear was going away, but congrats to Rob. I guess I did the same thing to him in the heat race, and I guess he did it to me in the big race. But what can you say? Like, this place is just awesome to race. Like, there's nothing like it around here.
Well, we're glad you guys came. Thanks for coming, and have a safe travel home.
Thanks. I just want to thank all the fans for coming out, thank all my sponsors, and hopefully they have it again next year because this was awesome.
Unbelievable show. I'm sure we'll work it out. How about for Greg Haskell? He comes across in second. We get over and talk to Mr. Rayom here. Andrew, talk about your drive tonight. You were in the battle. Can you be satisfied with third in a one-off here at Osh Weekend?
It was a good race. Just couldn't really get rolling there. There was a bunch of stuff mixing up, dicing, got some lap cars in there, and I was too tight to run around the bottom, and the top was already spoken for, so I had to try something. But, yeah, we had an oil issue there, and the motor held up, didn't quit on us, so it's a good night.
There you have it, Andrew Rayom. How about him for our top three? Rob Pitts, Greg Haskell, and Andrew Rayom. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more feature to go. We're turning up to Adam and Clayton to take us home. We've got our HRW Automotive mini stocks for their feature event for the night, our final one of the evening. Don't forget, we're here for Flat Track Bikes and Action Expo all weekend long. Come on out and see us.
Final feature of the night is the second one of the night for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Here's how they'll roll off for their 15-lap main event. Starting on the pole out of Caledonia in car number 11 is the Pinball, Mike Giberson. To his outside, the Thorold lawn chair, the 13M of Daniel McKay. Lining up in the third spot at Hamilton, the R&B Sprinklers number 96 of Brian Crosgrove. Lining up in the fourth spot in car number 63, Sienna Beaton on chair, the Amsoil California's Dave's sponsored car of Dave Crumby. Starting fifth in car number 60 is Martin Schroeder, and to his outside in car number 69 at a Dundas, the Evergreen Landscapes sponsored car of Rob Twitchett. Starting from the seventh spot in car number 1 at a Guelph is Jason Tolton, and lining up in the eighth spot in car number 19 at an Ancaster, the Brassy Pub sponsored car of Kyle Wirt. Lining up ninth in car number 16 is Fabio Olivieri. To his outside, the 222 of Nick Massey. Inside of row number 6, the 11th starting spot goes to the driver out of Brantford on chair, the 6 of Jason Dixon. And to his outside, the 11P out of Dundas on chair is Patrick Abramson. Tonight's 13th starter comes in car number 32. That is Jillian Hills. To her outside in car number 23 at Hagersville is Dusty DeBoer. The 15 starter in car number 01 out of Burlington is Tristan De Silva. In car number 2 out of Hamilton is Matt Newell. He'll go off 16th. 17 starter in car number 10 out of Simcoe is Ben Buchwald this evening. And in car number 73, that is Jordan Morris. He goes from the 18th spot. From the 19th starting spot in car number 13P, that is Vincent Pagnotta. And in car number 3 is Kevin Thorne. He rolls from 20th. Starting from the 21st spot in car number 21, coming to us out of Dundas is Jonathan Ayrton. The 22nd starter in car number 66 is John Jansens. 23rd starting spot inside of row number 12 is Cheeseburger Sean Iftani. He drives car number 15. The 14th starting spot is the 188 of Paul Longboat. 15th starter is the 6X of Mike Sarantakos, and in the number 93 from the 26th spot is Andy Reichman. The 27th starter in car number 54 is Christopher French, and from the rear of the field, the 28th starter in car number 4 from Waterford, Ontario, that is Wade Thorne. 28 cars for 15 laps. Final feature of the night for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. They get the white flag from starter Kyle McKenzie and will go green next time. Getting set to come back to green. Double greens from starter Kyle McKenzie, and we are underway. Daniel McKay races through corners 1 and 2 and leads the field down the back straightaway in the 13M machine. Side by side and all kinds of chaos behind him. Out in front of the field, still Daniel McKay, but here comes Kyle Wirt. He noses to the inside off of corner number 2, and caution waving as Sean Iftati turned around in turn number 3. So Iftati around in turn number 4 brings out the yellow flag for the first time in the HRW Automotive Mini Stock feature. So it is Daniel McKay, the race leader. I believe Kyle Wirt will remain in the second spot. The 96 of Brian Crosgrove in third. 32 of Jillian Hills in the fourth spot. And then the 222 of Nick Massey running in the 5th position.
Oh, Clayton, if I could just jump in here with a bit of housekeeping. Congratulations to Halson Loans of St. Catharines, who won $1,470 on ticket number 269406. Once again, congratulations, Halson Loans of St. Catharines, winning our 50-50, guys.
Now, Clint, I thought you only guaranteed them the other 750. I thought we were supposed to get the other 620.
No, Corinne runs it. She's a tough ship up there. So,
wow.
No, we guaranteed 750. Before long, we were at over $1,000. So, congratulations, we doubled it.
Awesome to see that 50-50 climb as high as it did tonight.
You know what, I just want to mention, I get a lot of questions about the 50-50. What do we do with the other half? Well, we are big supporters of the Diabetes Association of Canada, Alzheimer's, and a ton of other charities are benefited by our 50-50. So that's what it is, and we'll let you know. Lots of charities benefit, so thank you for your patronage. Here we go, guys. Kyle Wirt and McKay lead them back to turn number 1.
Back into corner number 1, as you said, Clinton. They're already 3 wide for the second spot. Nick Massey, Brian Crosgrove, and Jillian Hills, and now Tristan De Silva into the mix. They're 3 wide for 4th down the back straightaway, and we are a whole furious amount of action all the way through the field, and it is Kyle Wirt leading the field off of turn 4.
Nice advantage for Wirt out front. 3 wide for that second position. Nick Massey on the bottom. Tristan De Silva in the middle. Danny McKay on the top. And Jillian Hills in that black number 32, rounding out the top 5, working her way into 4th.
Still 3 wide for that second and third positions. Sean Iftati rejoining the field there in corner number 4. Jason Tolton a little out of shape there. Almost had that car pointed toward the outside wall in turn number 4, but gathered it back in. Going to cost them a whole bunch of spots as he drops like a stone outside the top 10.
Now, I'm a little bit out of the loop. Where did this Kyle Wirt car come from? Whose car was that?
I'm personally not too sure. He showed up in a black and green car here at the start of the night, and somebody is missing a sneaker. So Ohsweken Speedway safety crew to the rescue there.
Well, Clayton, the tire off the 73 machine. Want to send a quick shout out to Kevin Thorne in his first race here behind the Burger Barn Aitken Chevrolet, Ace One Construction number 3. Taking over the wheel of that, recently hired by Jason Hill and the Burger Barn crew. So welcome aboard, Kevin Thorne.
Good job keeping the nose clean on the number 3 machine as he gets his feet wet behind the wheel of that car here tonight. Just sorting out the lineup here and getting everybody back into order.
Let's talk about Tristan Da Silva here, guys. He was so close to grabbing his first feature win last week. Missed it by something like 4/1000ths of a second. Jason Dixon with trouble here on the front straightaway. Looks like they're trying to get him re-fired up. But yeah, Tristan Da Silva nearly grabbed one last week. He's got the confidence in his corner tonight. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, that one, I wasn't here for that one last week, Clint, but that picture that our track photographer Dale Calnan got of the map to start finish line there, the finish is so close that you can't see the number on Mike Sarantakis' number 6X machine because Da Silva is right there on the inside of the car.
Yeah, it looked like a great finish, and like you, Clayton, I wasn't able to make it. I think I'm going to have to sort my schedule out a little bit differently next summer. I don't like missing these Friday nights anymore.
Yeah, there's nothing better when you got 2 first-timers going for their first ever feature win in anything. As an announcer, I don't think that ever gets tiresome to say.
And we've had so many first-time winners this season. When was the last week we did not have a first-time winner? It's been at least 3 weeks.
Good question, and we've got a lot of them going on. I mean, Matt Newell grabbed his first feature win in race number 1 here tonight. We'll see what happens. Here they go, guys. Back to you. 3 in, 12 to go.
Kyle Wirt with a great restart coming to the green flag. Tristan Da Silva going to hang on to second. Nick Massey also got a good start as he challenged Jillian Hills to the inside, but Hills had some horsepower and out-dragged him into turn 1.
Good restart there for the Wirt number 19 machine. Hills coming to the inside now of Tristan Da Silva for that second position. The point leader Nick Massey running in the 4th spot right now in that 222 car, and then all kinds of cars battling it out for the final spot in the top 5.
I'm watching them trickle out of turn 4 and bounce off each other down the straightaway. The action is intense all the way back through the 20th spot. Out in front, that top 4 is drawn away from Fabio Oliveri in the 16 and Daniel McKay in the 13.
My apologies, it's Jillian Hills that's the current point leader. Nick Massey with that issue last week fell out of the point lead in the 222 machine, had led most of the year and looking to regain some of that ground here, but Jillian Hills continuing to run inside the top 5, the point leader in that 32 car.
Well, and that's what's got her to the points lead is consistent top 5 finishes. She is always working her way to the front of the field. You might not see her in victory lane every night, but she's all consistently solid results.
She has been to victory lane, though, at least once so far this year in that 32 machine and continuing to run well. And problems for the Matt Newell number 2, the first feature winner of the night, will go to the pit early here in feature number 2. And Kyle Wirt continuing to open up that lead in the number 19 machine, but Nick Massey has got some clean air now. Adam, we'll see what he can do.
What a great story for Kyle Wirt. A hard crash last Friday night and to come back this week and score a victory. That'd be huge for the driver of the 19. Oh, hard hit coming off of turn number 2 for Martin Schroeder rather in the 60 machine.
Yeah, that did not look good, the way that car drifted up the top of corner number 2, and you see Ashwegan safety officials heading straight to the care of Martin Schroeder's number 60.
Contact was made, and I'm not sure if it was DeBoer's number 23, but he was just going at an angle where he couldn't possibly miss the wall from where he was.
Well, guys, I'm not sure, but he took the window net down, then put the window net back up. I'm not so sure he feels he's done here. He's got the right front of the nose hanging off. We'll get over there and get a better look at it, as it is right below. He's going to go to the pits, get some stuff pulled off, and he will be good to go, is the report from our safety crew here in turn number 2. And looks like he's just going to do the loop right around. And there you can maybe get a quick look at, and there his stuff just fell off. So whatever was he need to go to the pits for, he doesn't need to go to the pits for anymore.
I thought he was going to clobber the wall.
Yeah, the angle he was headed there, and it looked like that right front was going to get a little more than a scrape.
Yeah, you can't save it. Once you get up there, you just can't save a car that wall. The wall becomes inevitable. But glad to see him drive away.
I haven't been in one of these race cars on the racetrack, but when you walk the racetrack after and see what the surface is like, when you get up over that cushion into that marbly area, it looks like it would be similar to driving on like a fresh gravel road. You don't have
there's
much
nothing
control.
left. You have great bite, great grip with the banking and with the clay. Once you get up there, that's all loose dirt, just like you say. You lose all of that. But Clint, while we've got a second, if you've still got your mic on, how about that late model race we just watched? Man, that was something else. I know the fans love those race cars too, and Clint loves it when I call him out. You can see him.
Yeah, I just shut my mic off every time. No, I want to say an amazing job. I want to send a shout out to Mike and Dan Lewis and all the work they did to put this race together. They brought a lot of the purse themselves. That's how bad they wanted to be here, and we appreciate it. And man, did the show ever come out looking amazing tonight. For Rob Pitts to win, sort of a Cinderella story, you know, former champion here, drove all the cars, probably had the most experience, but probably the least amount of power under the hood of his car, and gets it done on the last lap.
Well, over the years, we've had fun late model races, you know, when they've come down with 14 cars, 12 cars, and it's a novelty. It's neat to see.
We've had some horrible ones too.
That was a full field of race cars.
Yes.
How many laps did they run under green without a yellow?
I think they went 19, yeah.
I mean, that was fantastic. They should all be proud of that show they put on.
But the other point that I want to make to that is something our good friend Mark Rinaldi would say. Even after a long green flag run, we still had meaningful races all the way around out there, which makes it exciting to watch.
Absolutely, and that's exactly the point I was going to make, Adam, is that we had 24 cars strong from 3 different corners of the province here tonight, which was pretty cool to see.
For sure. Well, let's close this out right. We've got 8 laps to go in this mini stock feature event. We're about to go green. Massey and Wirt get on the throttle in turn number 4. They're 4 wide already.
4 wide is right through the middle of the pack, but they're 2 by 2, side by side for first and third through corners 1 and 2. Wirt right up to the top side. Massey trying to move him up the racetrack a little bit there by running 3/4 of the way up, but didn't stop Wirt from building some momentum on the top groove.
Well, one thing Kyle Wirt learned in those first 7 laps was his car is lightning quick, as high as he wants to drive on the racetrack. So he is under pressure from Massey, and the yellow flag flies. So we got Daniel McKay up in turn number 2, and Reichman just pulling away in the 93. But I think Kyle Wirt can be confident that that race car is lightning quick.
It is definitely hooked up, and you mentioned the wreck last week. That team also suffered through a fire to their race shop earlier this year as well, so it has not exactly been great times for the 19 team, but continuing to come out here and obviously, like you said, have a fast race car here tonight in that number 19.
So what's the rest of your racing weekend look like, Clayton?
I was just about to ask you the same question. You beat me to it. I'm at Brighton Speedway tomorrow night, and then either by a pool or on a lawn chair for Sunday and Monday, one of the two.
Well, guys, I'll be here, of course, with the flat track bikes. I got Merrittville Monday with the Super Dirt Car Series and Ransomville Tuesday with the Super Dirt Car Series. But Adam, let's talk. Okay, so for the fans at home, Adam, Clayton, and I, we all share announcing duties at Brighton throughout the season along with Dave Bradley. Greg pulled the chute and said he couldn't do it this year. So Adam, let's talk about the story about, was it 2 weeks ago when I phoned you and said, who's at Brighton this week? And you sent me back and it was 2:30 and I'm in my underwear at home and I'm a good 3 hours from Brighton Speedway, and it turned out it was me. So there I am running out the door screaming, I gotta go! But I made it just in time, and a bit of excitement.
I have a lot of fun down there. It's we've got a family function tomorrow, and then I'm gonna make it up to Sauble Speedway tomorrow night. Partly because I want to spend a weekend at Sauble Beach, and we don't have many weekends off, but that's my plan.
APC Series is there tomorrow?
APC Series is there. 27 cars lined up to compete. That should be a good show.
That's a fun racetrack because you cannot get away from anybody at Sauble Speedway.
It is a lot of fun. I used to love racing up there. I love the August long weekend at Sauble Speedway. Great fun. Let's finish this off, though. Nick Mazzy in the 222 on the inside. On the outside, Kyle Wirt.
Back underway, they drag race into corner 1 and 2. Nick Massey on the bottom, Kyle Wirt on the top side. Massey with the short way around, but Wirt has it wound up again. Massey leads by a slim advantage down the back chute.
Side by side into turn number 3, Jillian Hill staying a little bit closer to the action than she had been. She'll work the extreme bottom, and look at Fabio Oliveri in the 16 starting to flex some muscle.
That was almost too close to call at the start-finish line. That's why we use the transponder system. Kyle Wirt has it at the line and now pulling away just a little bit off of corner number 2. Half a car length, they reach the middle of the back chute.
It'll be 5 laps to go this time as we've got one around in turn number 2. I believe that's Matt Newell.
And some bumper hanging off the 23 of Dusty DeBoer as well as he rolls down the back straightaway a little underpowered as well. And it looks like some damage to the right rear of the Dusty DeBoer 23. Oh, no tire. That would not be so good. So DeBoer nursing that car back to the pit area as well. Is that what you were trying to say to me, DJ Jenners, that the tire exited stage right there? Yeah. Scene wasn't over yet, but the tire took the exit to stage right there. So 9 laps in, 6 laps to go. Fabio Olivieri running in the top 5 right now in the number 16 machine. He started back in the 9th spot and has stayed inside the top 10 for the duration of this race and now finds himself inside the top 5 with 6 laps remaining. Good run for him. Jonathan Ayrton, who picked up a B main win a little bit earlier on this evening, up to the 7th spot from the 21st starting position. Kyle McKenzie gives him a white flag, and he gets set to go again here in just 3/8 mile worth of time.
Jillian Hills has been getting a little racier on these restarts as Sean Iftati in the 15 peels his way down to the infield. Looks like his night may be done about 6 laps before he would have liked.
Another good restart this time. Massey with a bit better jump into turn number 1 and trying to slide up in front of the Wirt number 19, but can't do it. Kyle Wirt has that top side working.
And the nice thing for Kyle Wirt there is being able to race with someone he trusts. Nick Mazzy cleared him in 1 and 2, and Kyle Wirt just kept his foot to the floor on the outside, trusting that Mazzy wasn't going to come up into his line and was able to power back around the outside in a nice move as Tristan Da Silva fending off the 32 with Jillian Hills with Fabio Oliveri in the 16 machine, looking to decide which line he wants to try.
Massey following Wirt into the corner and now turning it underneath him just a little bit through corner number 4 to see maybe what the number 19's found up on the top side of the racetrack. He'll do it again in corner number 1. Maybe a little drafting action going on there down through corners 1 and 2 and hoping he can turn it back underneath him.
Well, he's definitely going to continue to try as they pull away from third position. Still Tristan Da Silva battling side by side with Jillian Hills, Fabio Oliveri in tow, and Mike Sarantakos, who, if I remember right, almost didn't qualify for this feature event, up there looking towards the top 5 spot.
So top 2 drivers breaking away but can't separate from each other. They're nose to tail into corner 3 and 4. And now they've got a little bit of a lap car to deal with as Paul Longboat's 188 causing some issues. Kyle Wirt wasn't sure whether to go high or low there, chose the high side and gets through without any issue.
Yeah, it works out all right for the leader, Kyle Wirt. In fact, he stretches his advantage to about 8 car lengths over Nick Massey, and then it's another 15 car lengths back to Tristan Da Silva, Jillian Hills, Fabio Oliveri, still locked into that battle for third.
White flag waving for Kyle Wirt in the number 19 machine, looking to pick up his first win of the season as he works ahead of Nick Massey with a big advantage now off of corner number 2. And Tristan Da Silva and Jillian Hills might still have a shot at this runner-up spot.
Yeah, look at Jillian Hills power her way down to 3 and 4. Kyle Wirt going to come out of turn 4 and take the checkered flag. The battle for second rages to the line 3 wide. It'll be Massey. And then Jillian Hills, Tristan Da Silva.
Fabio Oliveri, I think, getting the 5th and final spot in the top 5.
And I'm looking at Tristan Da Silva again, miss a position by 8 1/1000ths of a second. Fantastic racing, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Clinton Jeffrey is headed down to Lucas Oil Victory Lane.